play tough, and wanna hate this, I'm gon' show 'em. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no love for the biggest. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no love for the biggest. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so restricted like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patent it. Being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, isn't that getting slow, getting fast, not the roast, like a gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past and the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness, hilarious, you can do with my time, you're delirious, mysterious, because you are behind the fake exterior, inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior, get off of me, this ain't no humble brag, I want you to hear words, you can say them back, I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no love for the biggest. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no love for the biggest. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Gotta learn the consequence, stop being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams is a model steps. I'm not here to say the things, that's for you to take away. I can play a million mind games, but instead of say something not illogical, something that is topical. Grab it on and watch you go. Make yourself unstoppable. You're irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable. Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off, you know when I gotta make it. I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I never separate ages of bacon. Modern kingdom for the taking. Now that I've been through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no love for the biggest. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no love for the biggest. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no love for the biggest. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
Okay. Everybody, welcome. Happy Monday. I think it's Monday. Yeah, because it definitely is a Monday. And anyway, happy Monday to everybody. Hope your week is starting out good. Today went fast for me, and it felt like I was really busy all day, but I really got nothing done, so I don't even know how that worked out. But anyway, it kind of one of those days. We just had a storm here, and so I'm glad I got everything done outside before that happened. And now we got some very much needed rain. So anyway, and I know hopefully the people that are in the flooding have experienced less rain. So anyway, so I know that we have gone over the Amish stuff before, just recently for like a whole week. But I want to show you an update that I found today, and I also wanted to show a channel that I've been following on one account over on Facebook. So we're going to look at that. Something that I want to recommend. Let me just pull up my page here. Anyway, so let me we had a pretty loud crack of thunder, lightning or something. Startled me. Anyway, it sounds like it's just dripping outside, so hopefully it will that'll be it. All right. right, let me pull up my chat. All right. So, I should probably first of all make sure that we have a good sound check. I just realized that Grace had texted me. Sorry about that. I didn't notice. I was kind of scrambling a little bit. I almost didn't go live because I feel tired. And, and I thought, I could actually just go to bed right now. But then I thought, no, I like this post that I saw today, so I'm going to show everybody that and introduce this channel that I saw. Some of you may have seen it. All right, I'm just pulling up my chat on my phone also so I can see you guys. All right, let's go back to the start and say hi from the beginning. So, Mary comes in, watching her old lives, waiting for tonight's new. Hello, peeps. Hello to you too, Mary. Welcome. Hope everybody had a wonderful day. Glade says, I'm early for once. Welcome. You got a good seat then, didn't you? You got a chair right up front. Say It Out Loud says, hey, party people. Good to see you tonight. Tina, hello to you too. And Grace comes in style as always. How come it doesn't look like Grace is moderator on my phone? That's weird. Anyway, Nazarene, good to see you tonight. Welcome. Who am I missing? Florida. Welcome. Welcome to Florida. TNT is Dynamite. TNT, I'll win the fight. Who am I missing? Anybody? That was an AC/DC song, wasn't it? It was kind of a while ago. Good evening to D. Welcome. But if I remember right, that was AC/DC. By the way, did you guys see the recent videos of Angus? What's his name? The AC/DC. It's so weird how he's so old. You know what I mean? I mean, not weird, but you know what I mean. He went from like videos and seeing him from when he's super young. I mean, super young, to an old man basically. So anyway, but good for him. He's out there and he's touring and all that stuff. Angus Gus, or what's his name? No, whatever. You know who I'm talking about. Am I missing anybody? Florida, TNT, Tina, David. Good evening to David. Welcome. Let's see. Say It Out Loud. Okay, I think I said hi to everybody. So if you come in after this, then hopefully I'll see you and say hi. So anyway, and thank you, Angus Young. Thank you. I don't know why I couldn't think of his last name. I drew a blank. What did I say his name? Angus Gone? I don't know. Anyway, I figure you guys would know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so there's pictures. He's still doing his stuff. Yep, all the gang tits, right? And anyway, and also speaking of the gang, I want to say hello to all the people who are listening on the replay, because a lot of the gang listens on the replay. I know this is a little bit late for some people. 9:30 my time. It's 10:30 East Coast, but it's only what would it be? 8:30 and 7:30 to the west of me. So 7:30 would be kind of early for some people. I mean, it ain't too late. 8:30, not bad. 9:30, pushing it. 10:30, I can see why people are in bed. So, yeah, so we're going to go over, because we had just covered the Amish, what I feel is a big lie. I felt like that story was a big lie of multiple reasons. And not only that, but Eric has changed his story a few times to fit whatever situation he's in. So we've heard different versions, and we did go through all that. But I'm going to show you something that I saw today, just got posted, and I'm going to show you something that further, solidifies the claim that I think all that money for the house, remember, it was going to go to the Amish and blah, blah, blah. I believe it was just going to stay between Eric, and Robert Mast, you know what I mean, and whoever. But I believe that money was going to somehow circulate, you know what I mean, because it was right away I knew it was a horrible conflict of interest, right? Because you're just getting his best buddy in the world that he just spent a month with, and that his best buddy he's on his foundation as a board member, and his best buddy who they allegedly split contributions with. But anyway, with the Mass Foundation, right? So they're very, very tightly connected. And I thought right off the bat, even if it had been real, that would still, even if there really was going to be an Amish deal and all that, it would have still been a conflict of interest to have his very, very best, closest friend there with all these business ties and everything, to have him get involved in any way, right? Eric's close friends should have never been involved. You know who should have been involved? Betty and Larry. Maybe Patrick. Patrick could have limped and came along. He got some crutches and hopped in the car. But, nonetheless, it should have been Eric, and it was supposed to be Betty and Larry's house. So, well, hey, dear Jane, good to see you tonight. Hope you're feeling well. Yeah, good to see you tonight. So, a huge conflict of interest to get any of his buddies involved. So we're going to go over to a Facebook post, and I'm going to introduce you to a channel that I like. So far, anyway, I think it's, let me see, I think it's a fairly new channel. I don't know how to even check that. I'm not real proficient at Facebook, so I don't even know how to do some things. But anyway, let's check this out, shall we? All right, there you go. So here is what I think is a fairly new. I just kind of saw this recently, so I don't know how old this channel or how long it's been up, but I really liked the artwork on it right away. All right, up at the top, it's got a desk full of money, and it says the Money Grab Podcast Certified Grifter. That's Eric's desk. Well, allegedly. And then there's a picture of you-know-who with the money grab. And the Facebook channel's name is Clarence Oliver Rowe. Got 232 followers, 3 following. All right, so they have a lot of nice little nuggets in here, such as, I don't know what's going on with my thing here. Hold on a second. All right, so well, first we'll go over to the photos, okay? There we go. So with the photos, it's got a lot of, now I don't know if it's a he or she. Okay, I just said he. So because I don't know who it is. Now, it seems kind of maybe like more pro Patrick than Eric. I don't even know. I don't really care. I don't care who it is, but they do have good English and all that stuff. So there's some people I can rule out who it is. But anyway, so this person running this channel has a lot of good clips and stuff, and I'm not sure if. Anyway, they got a lot of text messages between Patrick and Eric. Now, I don't really know. I haven't really watched the channel a lot. Maybe it's. I don't know how they feel about Patrick, to be honest, because I haven't watched everything. But he does have some pretty incriminating evidence against Eric, which is all the evidence, of course, I've gone through, but I like how they have it clipped and stuff like this. So if you have Facebook, you can read these text messages between Patrick and Eric, And anyway, like I said, and I do like the artwork. Anyway, here's his desk. That's after the first. If now I might be wrong, okay, because I don't have any concrete evidence of anything. But this may or may not be the first payday after he got from the Whitakers. Not sure, just a rumor. But he's got a lot of good. Hold on a second. Let's see. And this is now I don't know for sure, but rumor has it that this is a photograph or a depiction of Eric when he was cutting everybody out of the contract and not paying them. May or may not be, but anyway, there's a lot of good things in here. Oh, here, Clarence Oliver Rowe. So I know the artwork. I like the artwork. Kind of familiar, but I can't put my finger on it. But anyway, I like it. Anyway, so what we're going to do is today, hold on a second. I got it on photo. So we're going to go over. Do they have reels? Yeah, I'm sure they. Yeah, so they do have reels. Anyway, so we're going to go over to today's posting. Now, this was posted this morning. Okay, and they posted something about here. They posted something about the Amish, okay, which I feel about that. But anyway, just more connecting of the dots. All right, so we're gonna go over. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see this. Yeah, looks like you can. All right, so 9 hours ago. Yeah, well, it was midday. Clarence Oliver Rowe posted this. Okay, it's about the Amish. Let me scooch over a little bit. Excuse me. Oh, 1 second. Excuse me. All right. I think you should be able to see it. 1 second. All right. There's a video. Oh, crap. There's a video going on. 1 second. I don't want to. Wait a second. I don't know whose video this is. Hold on a second. My thing just messed up. 1 second. All right. We're just going to have to deal with that, I guess. So I'm trying to stick on this one page. All right. It says, 9 hours ago, earlier today, he posted, Robert Mast, the individual brought in from Idaho by Carol, referred to as ex-Amish, was supposedly the sole person of the group capable of communicating with the Amish builders and an alleged Amish bishop. However, this claim is inaccurate, as the business activity serves non-Amish clients as well. And that's what I said too. They want people, they don't care if you're Amish, they want business. It's like their store, you know what I mean? All right, coincidentally, the business was and is ran by Samuel Mast. Remember that? We've gone over him. That's Robert Mast's son. And that operates an established log cabin enterprise. Now, I knew he did, but I really couldn't connect him with a name. I never really saw his name put together with the business, so I didn't know if maybe it was a long time ago, but it says was and is ran by Samuel Mast, Robert Mast's son, that operates an established log cabin enterprise, Cedar Creek Cabins in Crab Orchard, Kentucky, and also builds homes for the, where is it? And also builds homes for the log cabin company, Hostetler Milling Company in Loudonville, Ohio. He also happens to be Robert Mast's son. Yes, Robert Mast is also the late Robert Mast's father. They subsequently traveled to Kentucky under the impression of the followers to view an impression. Well, actually, I think they traveled to Virginia, from West Virginia to Virginia. Now, remember, they were also saying that Eric was saying that they had to go get Robert's friend in North Carolina. I don't know. He never did find out what that was. Now, was that Robert Mass' other son? I don't know. But that was all sketchy too, remember? And I'm thinking, okay, so who's paying for all this? Whitaker's did. Okay, Robert Mass is also the late John Mass' father. They subsequently traveled to Kentucky under the impression of the followers and viewers of meeting these Amish builders and bishop that only Robert Mass can speak with. That's right. It is highly implausible that a meeting with an Amish bishop ever took place. I agree. Carroll was previously listed as a director of the John Mass Foundation prior to its website being removed. Oops. Although it was still live late 2025. Yeah, it's gone now. Shit gone. Ultimately, the narrative in Amish liaison falls apart under basic factual examination between the pre-existing commercial ties within the Mass family and the total absence of evidence for an official bishop meeting. The journey to Kentucky appears less like a genuine bridge and more like a curated illusion. So true. And remember, we went over this for days recently, and there was absolutely no proof that we went over everything. His footage, his pictures, no proof at all that he ever met with the Amish bishop, that he did anything for the Whitakers. So remember, this was, and I do believe last fall, I was the first one to show this John Mass Foundation, because I was thinking, who's this John Mass guy, right? Because it was all so sketchy. So I looked into this John Mass guy, and this came up right away. His foundation, right? It's a foundation in the name of his late son, John Mass, the John Mass Foundation. And what I recently heard, I don't have this confirmed, but what I recently heard was, yes, as we can see, Eric was on the board of directors as, what did they say? Whatever. But there was a donation, and I don't know if it was a GoFundMe or what, but it was a donation that you can donate to this this John Mass Foundation, right? I'm not sure what it was for, but anyway, so what I heard recently, and I can't confirm it, but Eric was on Dad Talk telling people, hey, you should donate to this foundation because his son was, somebody took his life, and all this and that. Well, never really telling people that, hey, I'm on the board of directors, I'm going to get some of that money. So I heard that, yeah, he intercepted a lot of that money, with John's approval. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but that is what I heard, that Eric did get some of that donation money. So it looked like it was disconnected from Eric, right? Oh, hey, everybody, go over to John Mass. He lives out in this state, and he's doing this kind of stuff, this foundation. Yeah, please go donate there. And I don't believe that he disclosed that he's actually on that board and he'll be receiving some of that money. Again, a conflict of interest, right? So, Eric happens to be out with Robert Mass for the whole, from the time he first met the Whitakers, the last 3-4 days of June, Eric basically went straight out to Robert Mass for the month of July. I don't know if he went home or how much, but he's with Robert Mass right up to the end of July. I don't know if it was the whole time, whatever. But then he went straight from Robert Mass back to the Whitakers, and that's when he starts pitching this idea. Hey, my friend Robert Mass, he's an ex-Amish, and he said you should build a barnuminium, and then the barnuminium turned into this log home. And anyway, it seems to all circle back to Robert Mass, and Robert Mass' son builds these. I think I did, Grace. I think I did make a video about this. So it all circles right back to Robert Mast. And the funny thing is, like I told you, yeah, his son was his life was taken by, I think their last name is Bashir, and the man is doing 20 years in prison or something. But his wife got a hold of me and told their side of the story. But anyway, she told me, in her opinion, she thinks that Robert Mast is the mastermind behind this whole log cabin thing. And the funny thing is, I happen to have clips and I happen to have recordings of Eric saying that this is Robert's idea. The log cabin was Robert's idea. And remember, it was always emphasized by Eric that, hey, he's doing this out of the goodness of his heart. He's doing this out of his own pocket. He's doing this because he cares and whatever. He's not making anything out of it. I thought that was so weird to keep saying that. So anyway, that is this is Robert Mast, the one that was with talking with the Amish with Eric. This is the traveler, and I have that picture of him on the porch with Lorraine and him on the porch with Timmy, saying that they closed the Amish deal and all this nonsense. Well, this is his son. Now remember, the John Mast, he's not with us anymore. But then Samuel Mast here. Oh, and by the way, before I even forget, another benefit Eric had out of this whole Robert Mast thing was that Eric, now this is also what I've heard, and you guys might have seen it too, that Eric was given $175,000 to make a documentary on the death of his son, John Mast. And it was called I Stand by John or something. We've all heard about it. We talked about it, blah, blah, blah. But what I didn't know, and I bet what most people didn't know, is that 175,000, I mean, don't quote me on that, but I think it was 175,000, something like that. That was given to Eric, not by John or anything like that. That was, you guys, that was also donations. So donations were taken for the documentary. So anyway, raking in money left and right, in my opinion. And anyway, so the Samuel Mast here, he's the one that I even said he made log cabins. What are these guys doing? Driving around looking for a random bishop and hope they stumble on one that makes houses. And when his own son did log cabins, and I seen it on here, but I never seen his name connected to a business. And if I did, I couldn't put his name together. But in this post that he put today, he's got this video here. So let's look at. There's no sound to it. A Kentucky log home with Mexican flavor, and this is on the internet. He recommended Samuel Mast, owner of Cedar Creek Cabins in Crab Orchard, Kentucky, to act as both the general contractor and the builder. Okay, so this is like a recommendation. And now, if it is indeed the same Samuel Mast, which I'm going to show you, he does build log cabins, or he used to. But anyway, so I'm going to show you these companies. So one's in Kentucky, and he does, and that Samuel Mast does have ties to Kentucky. All right, so this is kind of like a review or something like that. And there's the log home. I don't know, you can't see it. Anyway, I'll show you. Okay. There's the log home. All right. All right. I think I just missed part of it. All right, so he recommended Samuel Mast, owner of Cedar Creek Cabins. Let me start over here. All right, he recommended Samuel Mast, owner of Cedar Creek Cabins in Crab Orchard, Kentucky, to act as both the general contractor and the liaison. Now, that is interesting because remember, Mark Douche, all of a sudden, instead of being the camera guy and a support system for Eric, he reappointed himself and promoted himself to contract manager. Remember that? He was trying to justify why he was there. Remember, he said, okay, now let's go over why you were there, Mark. Let's explain to everybody why you had to be there. He goes, well, I was going to be looking over I was going to be the project manager. I was going to be, the contractor overlooker, or whatever. But these people come with that, obviously. Anyway, so that blows Mark Douche's reason for being there. Nestled on 35 acres. I'm sorry, nestled on Alfredo says. Hold on a second. Alfredo, like the Mexican lago. Nestled on 35 wooded acres with the expert craftsmanship of Samuel Mast and his team, a large rustic log cabin with a stone chimney and a sloped metal roof. And remember, that's Hostetler. Okay, here, let me go back because I want you to see this name because I have that pulled up too, okay? Okay, oh, no, go back. This thing doesn't want to stop. This doesn't at all. All right. The name of the company, they say, is Hostetler, or what is it? Hostetler. All right. That's two names. Coal Log Home, Project Gallery. All right, there you go. So this, oh crap, hold on a second. I need to redo this. Hold on a second. All right. I wonder if I can do it like this. Hold on a second. Let me try something. Now that ain't gonna work. All right. I was gonna have to read it. All right. So as you can see, the John Mast Foundation. And it says on there that he builds log homes. And I've heard this before. Okay. The expert craftsmanship of Samuel Mast and his team, a large rustic log cabin with a stone chimney and sloped metal roof. And then as you can see, remember I showed everybody that John Mast Foundation, right? Where Eric's on the board. There's his picture right there. Oh, you probably can't see it. There you go. So Eric's pictures on, and I showed this a long time. I know I have a video on it. I know I do. But he's showing here, kind of goes by quickly, hard to see. Let's see if we can get it clear. But anyway, he shows it, and it says that John Mast builds these log homes, right? And I'm going to show you his company here. And so, yeah, so why would Robert Mast, and it all circles back to each other. This account has been suspended. Now, I don't know if you can suspend your own account or if Facebook suspended his account. I don't know. It says Facebook, johnmastfoundation.org. Remember? That's actually what he was just showing there. And I've done videos on it. The account has been suspended, so we can't even look at it. And I don't know how it got suspended. Dad Talk today, September 29th, somebody wrote on here, so you called in a guy that supposedly is coming to help from the kindness of his heart. You failed to tell people that you are somehow tied in with his foundation. Explain it to us, Eric. That's actually the picture in his suit. Remember, he said he don't like wearing suits because it's always something crooked or something. He never wants to wear a suit again because people that wear suits are bad or whatever he said. Anyway, so yeah, that was the picture that they used for that foundation. And there it is, John Mast. So they're talking about Samuel Mast. Hold on a second, let me redo this. I want you to see. Let's see. Let's see if I can blow this up. Hold on a second. So anyway, it's just so remember he said all the money is going to go into first it has to go into somebody and then they're going to hand it to the Amish. So right there is a middleman. First he said it was going to go straight to the Amish. They're not even going to touch it. And then he said somebody will gather the money and then give it to the Amish. Okay. And guess who that somebody's probably going to be? I don't know. Probably, let me guess, Robert Mass or Eric. Maybe Douche. Okay. So let me see if I can get where it says on the foundation thing, he's bragging about his, here it is right here. And I showed this before, but I'm just showing you it's relevant. So I knew he did. I knew he made log homes. All right, says this John Mass Foundation. This is about Samuel. Years later, he made another move, this time to join a new community in Libby, Montana. And remember, do you guys remember, even just recently, when Eric was talking about his news story about why they had to drive all over and look for an Amish bishop? He said, yeah, and if we didn't find one in Virginia, our next guess, we were going to drive up to Idaho or Montana. Remember, he said that their next, if they didn't get the Amish bishop, if they didn't score in Parisville, their next try was going to be Montana or Idaho, the places that actually John and his son live. Anyway, crazy. That would give him permission to go to those states too. Anyway, it says there Samuel started working for a local company, putting prefabricated log home kits together. He even though the construction was new to him, he was doing the prefab building crew within 2 years. So anyway, he led the on-site crew. That's what got him into the log homes. All right, is these prefab log homes. Then we're going to look at these companies that he's either owns or connected to allegedly, which just shows you. Well, first of all, what I did is I Googled, and I have done this before, but it never really comes up where the name is really, really connected to these companies. But there is. I saw it today. So let me just look in the chat real quick as I pull this up. I don't know where I left off. Anyway, Glades, let's see, Nazarene, let's see. All right. Yeah, thank you, Tina. Yeah, we got some rain finally. It goes a long way on the grass, that's for sure. Let's see. Hey, Dooley Doo, good to see you tonight. Welcome. Am I missing anybody? Anyway, so welcome anybody that came in I didn't see. So, let's see, where are we here? So this is one of the companies that he said he works for, or that they're saying that he works for. Hochstetler Milling Ltd, operating as Hochstetler Log Homes, is an Amish-owned milling and log home company at this address. And it's established in 1986. Company specialized in precision milled log homes, packages, and framing, custom framing. So that is in Loudonville, Ohio. This is the one that his name is connected to, right? So we're going to look at the next one here. Remember, there was 2 companies that he's connected with, apparently, allegedly. Yeah. Anyway, so here, remember, this is the other one, but it's the same one. Hochstetler Log Homes and Timbers. Okay, you have a mosquito in here, I think. Anyway, let's see. All right, so now this is in Pennsylvania. Now I guess they got builders in different states. Uh, According to their bio, they were from Pennsylvania and came to Ohio, wherever the hell they're at. So anyway, let's see what it says. So this is the Hofstad. Now his name is Leslie, apparently connected to this company. Coal log home. These are different styles, different floor plans, different whatever. But these are testimonials that they got here. Okay, these are somebody's saying it's a testimony, like a great company, right? So this is the Cole family log home in Pennsylvania, which I guess is also where they do business, where they're from, according to online stuff. So anyway, for Dave and Janet Cole, their log home is more than just a house. It's the realization of a lifelong dream and a symbol of their renewed journey together. Nestled on 35 wooded acres in southern Pennsylvania, this custom-built home was inspired by a decades-old magazine clipping that Dave carried with him for years. With the expert craftsmanship of Samuel Mast and his team, the home reflects the Coles' love for rustic beauty, filled with antiques, family heirlooms, and warm personal touches. It's from solid maple kitchen cabinets to the frame print to their dream home, signed by the builders. Oh, we got Robert Mast autograph. Every detail tells the story of perseverance, passion, and new begins, which is kind of funny because this just shows you this is like probably most of these are upward to $1 million. You know what I mean? These homes. So you can just imagine, and this is probably a 5-bedroom. Imagine the 5-bedroom home. The Whitakers trying to maintain this, and I did look up like what are the official what are the drawbacks of a log home? They said, well, there's constant upkeep. You have to seal and stain and seal the outside every 5 or 6 to 8 years or something. Another drawback is that they're very not sufficient because they don't have the insulation of a traditional home. Caleb. So they they're because you can only imagine when it's 20 below zero or whatever it's cold below freezing. You can imagine you touch them logs and you could probably feel how ice cold they are. You know what I mean? Anyway, yeah. So they're not really sufficient. There's a lot of upkeep to it. Not only that, but these logs you got to constantly check after it's built. They settle. These logs settle and stuff. So they're settling sometimes. And anyway, and you can just imagine the taxes on $1 million home that the Whitakers would have to pay. And imagine what it costs to heat this thing. You know what I mean? Anyway, just so dumb. What a dumb idea. Oh, there's Lorraine's bedroom. There's Timmy's bedroom. Like, shut up. Oh my gosh, it was so dumb. But anyway, here it is. And okay, hold on a second. So I'm gonna go through a few clips that's saying that this was all out of Eric's home, and this is in Ohio, Loudonville. I don't know how close that is. I don't know where in Ohio, but it's in Ohio, right? Where Robert lives. So let's see, and then of course we have let's see here. And so yeah, that company Samuel Mast is connected with that log home, and this by the way was from 2 years ago, and now it's already been a year since this Amish stuff was going on. It was last August. They were doing the Amish charade, and so last year when they were pulling this Amish stuff off, the article was only 1 year old. So it's not like, well, he did it 30 years ago. No, that article was only a year old when they were saying that he's running this. You know what I mean? And then somebody was saying that there is a connection. Well, anyway, it's just like a big circle, and you would have to you probably call. Now, I'm not really, I don't want to do it, but like if there was a reporter, you know what I mean, doing a story on this or whatever, or somebody, or if the, I think the investigators already called the bishop, and I think the investigators already called Robert Mass because Eric was angry that the investigators didn't believe their Amish story. In fact, him and Mark Douche were angry because the investigators weren't buying their Amish story. Remember, he goes, I don't, Mark said, yeah, we were in there talking to the investigators, and they were, they were still listing Eric as a suspect, which angered him and, the two of them. So he said, he was married about that, and he goes, and Mark says, and I don't care, West Virginia, you dropped the ball. We're trying to fix your mess, and blah blah blah. And he goes, and I don't care if you don't believe the Amish story, and leave Robert Mast alone, or something like that. So right there tells you the investigators don't believe the Amish story. They've already talked to Robert Mast because they're telling them to leave West Virginia's investigators, leave Robert Mast alone. Mm, I think that's funny. Because that right there shows you that, yeah. And I'm glad they don't believe the story. Now, I would be horribly disappointed if, Eric never gets charged. You know what I mean? That'd be sad. Um, just keep waiting and waiting and waiting, and he just never gets charged and stuff. You think, okay, lose all faith in any judicial system or any justice at all. Lose faith in West Virginia. Lose faith in the, in the court system and the legal stuff in West Virginia, which most people already have because look what happened. And yeah, excuse me, it did happen on their watch. Eric came in. I believe he duped all of them, or he either duped them or greased the bombs. You know what I'm saying? But somehow, Eric was calling the shots in Raleigh County. A guy that had never even been there. He's over there bossing everybody around. Like, that's not a good look. So anyway, yeah, I just thought I think he thought he could just talk his way out of everything. You know what I mean? Anyway, let me just, well, hey, Dooley Doo sent hiding for 10 jewels. Well, thank you for the 10 jewels. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. All right, let me go back and look at your comments because I'm going to lose track here before I get too far behind. And then I'll show you some clips how it was all Robert's idea. Oh, and did I say? Yeah, I did say that. Hey, Caleb, stop, please. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where I left off. What's a creepy feeling? My front door was wide open. What? Yes, my son and I were sleeping, he said. He lay in bed for 20 minutes terrified. Oh, what happened? Somebody opened up your door? This is creepy and weird. My front door is wide open. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, that freaked me out. Yeah, I'm glad you and your son did they catch the person? I thought they went to Parisburg, Virginia. They did. They did. They went to Parisville. Parisburg? Parisville? Well, yeah, Virginia. They did. Well, that was at least one place. Remember, they were gone for 3 days. And I do have the clip of Eric saying that we told Betty we're going to be gone for 3 days and you won't be able to get a hold of us. And that is just so dumb. And I'll go over that and tell you why. Hold on a second. All day. Yeah. All right. Hey, Joyce. Good to see you tonight. Welcome. I don't think I said hi. Not my monkeys. Yeah. Yeah. All right. All right, so yeah, I'll just go over a couple of those because maybe that lady was right. The ones that have been battling with the Mass family. She said, "I think Robert planned all this. So he's the mastermind." Of course, they don't like him. I mean, they don't like the Mass family, obviously. To do that, but I don't know. Maybe. You didn't think I was going to lie tonight? I almost didn't. Because after I fed everybody, I kind of got tired and I thought I could just go to bed. I'm tired. And then got a little second wind. And I thought, yeah, maybe I'll just go for a short live stream. That's funny. I'll just go. But yeah, I just figured I'm going to come on for a short live stream because I am kind of tired. Yeah, I don't think I got energy to go real long. All right. Let's see. Yeah, so we'll just go over these, a few clips. Now, I could put these in all together in compilation and a nice little video, one after the next, how Robert Mass is running the deal. Robert Mass is running the deal. Well, then I think Robert Mass needs to also get investigated. That's just my opinion. All right. So let's see. And these are short clips. Yeah. In fact, I do have a video up. I'm going to show you. These are my Robert Mass videos. My catalog of Robert Mass. So Robert Mass Foundation, Robert Mass running an Amish house. Robert Mass running Amish house deal. Told Betty Eric will be gone 3 or 4 days out of commission. And it happens to be the when the restraining order was, which I believe is planned out. Eric had no plans with the Amish. They were just going to drive around. Oh, here's what I was going to show you. So look, it is public. This video is posted right now. Robert Mass ex-in-laws come forward to speak out. Was Robert Mass the mastermind? So I do discuss that, or maybe he was. Maybe he was the brains of it, because I don't think. I mean, in my opinion, I think Eric gets messy and sloppy with his, when he runs things. So I think maybe Robert was going to run it. So anyway, let's go through a few of these just to remind ourselves. And these are ones that I did not go through before. You didn't figure I was going to be live tonight? Yeah. Probably not a long one. All right. Yeah, let's just go through a few of these. I don't want to pull them all up because it jams up my computer. Hey. Psst, psst, psst. All right. All right. Dog wants to get under my desk. One thing after the next. All right. All right. Let's go with this first one here. I'm just going to put my comments up beside me here. So if there's anything here, I'll glance over to see your comments. Robert Mass running the Amish house deal. And so, yeah, he was going to be in charge. And funny thing is, his own son builds these houses. So not only was it dumb, but I mean, to me, that would be a really dumb plan, because it's so easy to follow the trail in a little circle right back to Eric. You know what I mean? Let's see, Eric, his friend's son, and back to Eric. Kind of like that fundraiser, allegedly, right? All right, so let's just get this put up here. I love that. I love that when the windows are open and you smell the breeze of a evening rain. That's what it smelled like. It just blew in the window. Could smell the rain and the crickets here cricketing. Let's see. Uh no, I think my chat. I think this is gonna come up. All right. Well, thank you for the thumbs up. I just taking down my chat off the screen because it's just gonna make it difficult. All right. That way I can play these without.
Yes, it's all based off of Robert's relationship and you know where to go. Yes.
So, because over. Eric, stop. Because over time, I thought to myself, like at the beginning, at the very, very beginning, when this Robert Mass comes in the picture and this Amish stuff, and that's why I started looking up, who's this Robert Mass? But, because it dawned on me, is this Robert Mass? Is he just like being played? I mean, is he being played too? But I can't, I can't keep, even considering that because obviously, like I said last September, there's no way that he doesn't know that you need a Amish diplomat to buy a house from these people. No more than you need an Amish diplomat to go into their little grocery store and buy some cheese and cookies. So, and there's Patrick going along with the whole deal. All right. Can the Amish? Oh, look at that! They get 20 francs. Is that what it is? Let's see. Can the Amish? Here, okay. Can the Amish help with the house? It's so funny because it was such an idea, but Eric actually wrapped it into like a wrapping paper, like a present, like it was. Boy, if we can pull this off, even Dwayne called it. It was the Hail Mary of Hail Marys in order to have the Amish build your house. So I guess every one of their customers have pulled off the Hail Mary of Hail Marys, and they didn't even have to buy a gigantic block of cheese. So anyway, yeah, Whitaker family, 88,000 subscribers. Interesting. Okay, go ahead.
Next one, Suzanne Fernando, $20. Can Amish help with the house? We'll find out in the next few days, guys. That's what
Oh, you guys say your prayers. He's gonna find out.
working on tomorrow.
Hey, Red Frog.
That's all day I'll be out.
Okay, now here I got a objection. Objection. We'll find out in the next few days. Keep your fingers crossed, guys. That's what I'll be working on. Wow, just amazing. How does this guy pull this stuff off? He's just amazing. All right, now listen.
Working on tomorrow through Saturday. That's all day I'll be out of commission because I'm trying to get her a house built.
And that makes no sense. So they drive to Virginia, Parisburg, according to them. They get an Airbnb for him and all his man friends. And then they buy some cookies and whatever, some cheese, and they ate at the restaurant and ate at another restaurant and whatever. Now, how in the hell with today's modern technology, why wouldn't Eric be able to be in contact with Betty? As a matter of fact, Betty and Larry were the ones that should have gone with Eric to go talk to them about their own house. All right, so it makes no sense that Eric's bringing all his friends. No sense. But he has to come up with a reason why each one of his buddies needs to go on this unnecessary trip. So he told Betty, I'm going to be out of commission for 3 or 4 days, okay? Okay, there's a cell phone, okay? There's no reason why Eric needs to be out of commission. It's not like he's loading up a covered wagon and going out west, you know what I mean? He's got a cell phone. Cell phones reach to the next state. And as a matter of fact, it should be the opposite. He should have told Betty and Larry to come with, number one. But if for some reason anybody thinks this is okay, then another thing he should have done is he should have been on that phone constantly with Betty. Hey, Betty, they want to know, do you want the door on the left or the right, or they want it in the center? How many bedrooms on upstairs? There should have been a lot of questions. If you're going to investigate about builders building a house, there should be a lot of questions for the potential owner of the house, right? The customer. So he should have been constantly on the phone with Betty, not out of commission. He should have been calling Betty they want to know, do you want the kitchen in the front or the back, whatever. And so it just makes no sense that he would not only leave Betty and Larry at home and bring his buddies, but that he would be out of commission for a few days. What are you talking about? Out of commission? No. If they didn't bring it, then you should have been on constant contact. Betty, they want to know, do you want the bedrooms facing the front, whatever. There should be 100 questions. All right, go ahead.
We'll find out in the next few days, guys. That's what I'll be working on tomorrow, Saturday. And I told Betty I'll be out of commission because I'm trying to get her a house built.
Oh, and by the way, these 3-4 days he's gone is the 3-4 days where Betty's supposed to go to court for the restraining order. Eric, in my opinion, knows damn well in the next 3 or 4 days he's going to miss that court date. And that way, like Eric's own words, he said, Betty, what did you think was going to happen? Of course they're going to take your family away if BJ comes back. What did you think was going to happen? So he leaves, in my opinion, purposely misses the court date. So when he comes back, and BJ will naturally be home because there's no restraining order and she lives there. So he can come back, act all shocked that the court date passed, blame Betty again, and then have a reason to call everything off. You know what I mean? So yeah, he purposely did. So in other words, so the restraining order, they left on Wednesday. The restraining order was Thursday, and Eric came back on Friday, very conveniently gone those 3 days. Now, he tells Betty that that you're not going to be able to contact me. So if Betty wanted to go that restraining order, he's not answering. He told Betty, don't call me. You can't call me. Don't get a hold of me in the next 3 days. Well, if Betty said, hey, Eric, that restraining order is tomorrow, what are we going to, she can't. He cut her off during that exact time when the restraining order is. That's not a coincidence. He wanted her to miss that date, in my opinion, because he was gone the 3rd, the 4th, and came back on the 5th, thinking he's going to take Timmy. And when that didn't work, he had the state come and take him, and he thought they were going to pass him off like a football. And when that didn't happen, that's when he lost his mind. So yeah, it's no coincidence that he left the Whitakers and told them there's no way to get a hold of me. When she couldn't reach him because he was going to be passed out somewhere after party. Exactly. Lots of practice. He knew the exact date. Exactly. And Betty was asked, when you left court, of course he knows the date. Remember, he's supposed to be a professional court date guy and professional whatever, bringing people to court and getting custody of people. Anyway.
$20. Can the Amish help with the house? We'll find out in the next few days. That's what I'll be working on tomorrow, Saturday.
Convenient.
I'll be
Very
It's
convenient.
out of commission because I'm trying to get her a house built. So I promise you, we have kept you guys updated. I think more than just about any other content creator. I mean, as soon as something happens, we're usually telling you all this that went on today. You didn't have to wait a week to hear it. I made a video there. Now we're coming back later to further clarify it. So as soon as that happens, you guys will know.
Is it like Thursday they'll find out, Wednesday they're gonna get here, Thursday you go, and then?
Thursday happens to be the restraining order.
We don't
Okay, they go on it.
So they don't know we're coming.
Oh,
Yes, it's all based off of Robert's relationship, and you know where to go. Yeah, and like I said, he's got relationships. They're not like people that you get on FaceTime that you make a telephone call.
right.
Not doing that with Amish. Gotta show up. We gotta tell them what's going on. Explain very clearly. You can see where the interest is, and we gave ourselves 2 full days to see if we can pull that off again. If there's some unforeseen, godforsaken reason we can't pull this off with the Amish, I have talked to numerous nonprofits that have expressed interest in it. I feel very confident about the Amish, and
Because he already knows it's going to be, they already know what they're doing. This is before everything. He knows exactly. They're going to go and they're going to leave. And when they come back, they're going to pretend they didn't know nothing about the restraining order. It's going to blow up, all this stuff. But they have to go through the motions. Yeah.
I definitely trust them with the money to take in the donation.
I definitely trust these Amish people with the money who don't do things like this. They don't collect fundraising money. They don't even have a, electronic banking. Anyway, I mean, they even said they have a thing called, what's it called? Bird in the bush or something. No, one in the bush, 2 in the hand, or whatever. But yeah, non-traditional. I had talked to numerous nonprofits.
Expressed interest in it. I feel very confident about the Amish.
Yeah,
and
man.
I definitely trust them with the money to take in the donations.
Robert.
100%. They have great walls. But another reason we were going after the Amish was quality and quickness. They will build the best house in the quickest time, hands down. Nobody's going to compete with it. That's what they do. And so, yeah, and we don't know what we're heading into there, but I love it. It's an adventure. I'm going to lie to you.
It's just an adventure. It's an adventure. He's excited. It's an adventure. They're going to go pretend to try to find an Amish builder, bishop guy, and they're going to eat cookies.
Excited about meeting them. There is a lot of things I respect about the Amish, their sense of family and the tradition. You got to be very dedicated to be an Amish person. So,
Oh yeah, yeah.
But so what does it say about the ones that get kicked out?
Jam.
Jam.
$9.99. Out of all of
Jam, another $10. Yeah. You know what really was sad? Hey, always good to see you tonight. You're right. When people shake their head no, when they're trying to convince you something, their brain, their body is their subconscious is saying no. It's like when the police ask somebody, did you did you rob that store? Did you do this crime? And they say, no, I would never do that, but they're shaking their head yes. Yeah, if you watch some body expert guys and girls. All right, let's go on to the next one here. Hey, Victoria, good to see you tonight. Welcome. Always Faith, welcome. Yeah, always shaking his head. Professional nurses tell her tall tales, yeah. She couldn't reach him because he was going to be passed out. Well, he did admit that his buddies couldn't wake him up till really late late the day they were supposed to leave. And he said, "Why didn't you guys wake me up?" And he said, they said, "Well, we figured you needed the sleep." Oh man, on a day that they're supposed to travel. And he even said that Timmy ran in time and time again trying to get him up, and he wouldn't get up from that either. So I guess he has a hard time getting out of bed once he lays down. All right. Here is another time where he is speaking about Robert, of all the things that he's going to do out of the kindness of his heart, and he's paying for it all too. He's writing a $500 check, and it's so funny because he'd be writing it to what, his son, the Amish builder. You know, dumb. All right, go ahead. Honestly, mosquito in here.
You know, and go do this work to ask somebody to build up before it is.
Now he's I mean, I gotta start making videos, compilation videos, because I have so many on this. But anyway, let's see what he's got to say. You remember that, Tina? All right, hold on a second. All right, I think you can see it.
Now I gotta go big.
And he's going to praise Robert for doing all this for free.
You know, and go do this work to ask somebody to build on it.
Can you hear it?
I'm doing it because that one in there. Yeah. And Ray and Lorraine and Betty, I feel like Betty is not able to talk to us.
Right. So what is the strategy, I guess, tomorrow is when Robert and Mark get in and you get to sit down with the elders
Tumbler number 1 with no straw, the smaller of the two tumblers.
of the Amish. What's kind of the plan?
I have no idea. I'm playing up here with Robert. I'll give you guys updates as it happens. He's been having this over after this life.
Well, no wonder the police are talking to Robert, because he seems to be, maybe he is the ringleader of this whole thing. Because he says, "Oh, we're following Robert's lead." So Robert is the leader of this whole find the Amish bishop thing. So yeah, and he knows damn well. For number 1, his own son, who makes log cabins. So all nonsense. Like, go ahead, Eric. What were you saying?
You get to sit down with the elders of the Amish. What's kind of the plan?
I have no idea. I'm playing up out here with Robert. I'll give you guys updates as it happens. He's been having this over after this life is Amish.
Mm-hmm.
He knows where to go.
What happened? Why isn't he Amish anymore? Why is he excommunicated? Yeah, what happened, Eric?
Yeah, this over after this life is Amish.
Mm-hmm.
He knows where to go. They're very well respected. Tomorrow will pretty much be a travel day. I gotta travel 4 hours.
You know, and well respected by who? Listen, if you leave the Amish, you're no longer well respected by them. You can look into that. Go ask an Amish person. Or you can just look it up. And there's videos on it too.
Here with Robert, I'll give you guys updates as it happens. He's been having this over after this life is Amish.
Mm-hmm.
He knows where to go. They're very well respected. Tomorrow will pretty much be a travel day. I gotta travel 4 hours to meet him and then 4 hours back here. And I'm sure after they've done all that traveling, probably want to settle in for the night. It's gonna be nighttime, so we might as well just get a good night's sleep on Thursday morning, go hit it hard, get a meeting, and then on Friday morning the same thing, and then bright early on Saturday, I gotta get them back to the airport. And gotta drive 4 hours there, and then I gotta drive 4 hours back because I'm not going home yet.
That really sounds like it costs a lot of money. Imagine all the money that went into these trips. All this traveling, back and forth, plane tickets, Airbnbs. I mean, they obviously spent more money in one evening than they did all summer on the Whitakers, you know.
I was supposed to go home last Friday, then I was supposed to go home this Saturday, and now, and because I can't wait Betty here, because she's got this coming up with me.
Yeah, coming up with BJ when? Actually, Eric, it's tomorrow. It's tomorrow.
So bad.
Yep. So, all, oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't done.
I was supposed to go home last Friday, and Patrick's friend was with me. And we was on the porch, and Larry was like, "No, you gotta go home Friday. I'm sorry you had to put up with this while you was here." But I was like, "I'm not going home. I'm here for another 2 weeks. Face melted."
I mean, just think about this. This is what they're doing to the Whitakers. Larry said, "Oh, well, you know, too bad you gotta go home Friday. You know, yeah, we'll miss you, but thanks for stopping by." And he said, "No, buddy, I'm gonna be here for another 2 weeks." And Larry's face melted. Of course, because they're so stressed out. They thought they were going to be relieved when Eric leaves. He said, and he was very pleased to break the bad news to Larry. Larry, we're going to be here another 2 weeks. Why? Because BJ is trying to stay away from home right now because she's got a temporary restraining order. So they thought, well, when he goes back to Georgia, she can come back and, you know, we can try to get things back to normal. So, of course, his face melted. Found out that BJ's got to go sleep in the car somewhere for another 2 weeks.
I was here, but I was like, "I'm not going home. I'm here for another 2 weeks. Face melted." Really? Yes.
Wouldn't yours? Yeah, wouldn't yours? I'm sure everybody's face melts when Eric tells him he's going to be somewhere at their house for 2 weeks. That probably happens to everybody who says that too. So, next one. Now here. Yeah, this is interesting. Now, you know, there was only one time where Robert Mast was on camera. And that was the Friday, September 5th, when they supposedly had the deal go through, right? And they went and did the photo op. Robert Mast did the hug photo with Timmy, hugging Timmy on the front porch. And then he also went over with the video. He said, "Hey, Lorraine, the Amish are building your house." And Robert Mast like, "Yeah, Lorraine." And Lorraine just sat there and stared at him like they're both idiots, like, you know, as you do. And then that's when Robert Mast said, "Come on, Lorraine, come on." He wanted a reaction, right? Right there just shows you that goodness, you know what I mean? Yeah, he doesn't want to. Let's see. Actually, I'm just going to move this over to make it easier. But yeah, Robert didn't want to be on camera. In fact, so here he is. I'll just actually I can't enlarge this. I'm really going to go. There you go. All right, now they're going to tell you that, yeah, Robert don't want to be on camera. Of course he doesn't. And to me, every one of these things just, to me, screams guilt. I mean, of course he doesn't want his face on camera. And why wouldn't you? If you're going to do all this and you're going to be the hero that, you know, somehow brings the Amish and non-Amish people together, and he's going to donate the first 500, why wouldn't he be on camera? Very.
That's better.
Now, can you hear it? Yeah.
Better. That's all you're gonna.
Hold on a second. I'm not going to be able to do that. All right, hold on. I thought I could do a shortcut, but I'm not. I bet it's a really good barn. Wait a second. Oh, yeah, you said you had them build your barn. Coincidentally, the Amish company that built our barn was called Cedar Valley Builders, and the owner's name is. That's them. That's them. That's them, not my monkey. And the business is very close to. That's them. That's it. That's them. It's Cedar Valley Builders. Yes, and remember, I showed you the name is Hostetler. It's on the business, and that's where Samuel Mast is connected to. So, how did you guys get a hold of them? Did you have to have Eric go? Go down there and buy some cheese with Robert Mast, or what? Did you have to have a Robert Mast type of Amish diplomat? Yeah, it is a good one. It's almost like he tweaked the names to make it sound real. Huh. There's no way Eric can possibly keep up with all the lies. Right. And who could, right? Why wouldn't I want to be on camera? Because I've been threatened and stalked before. Okay, I'm not the one that's out there. I'm not the one jumping into the middle of the Whitakers and with all this money and meeting them on their porch and trying to be the one that brokers the deals, right? But no, I've been stalked and threatened about 10 years ago, so yeah. People saw what I went through. It wasn't good. It was something out of a horror movie. Yeah, so anyway, I'm not down there trying to get involved with their money and trying to be the one that's broken the deal and all that stuff. I think if you do that, then you should be on camera. The names are tweaked. The names are tweaked. Hostetler? So maybe he's trying to get money. I mean, I've seen this before. And in fact, it is a marketing strategy to try to use the same colors and a similar name as somebody successful. I know a guy who was into that advertising, and they said that so somebody had some pet products. So what they did is use the red and blue colors from PetSmart and made it sound like PetSmart, right? So they do that, and they do that to trick people. So if you look up Hostetler, you're probably log homes, you're probably going to get that guy. And you know what? You know what? Not my monkeys. That's a good point, because guess what? Remember I told you when the first time I looked it up, I didn't see a Sam Mast name in there. You know what I mean? I didn't see, and you know what? I was probably looking up the one that did your house. Because if you spell that company wrong or picked the wrong Hostetler log cabin, then you won't see Sam Mast. But if you spell it differently, then Sam Mast is connected. You know what I mean? That's interesting. He called it Cedar Creek Cabins. Your guy or this guy? Yeah. That's almost the same name. Yeah, Perez Hilton, yeah. And he did do that to, yeah, exactly, to get the name mixed up. I believe that Eric got a ton of money when he asked for help to pay for his Airbnb. That's why he was able to pay for his friends to come to West Virginia. Yeah. Yeah, I believe so too. Yeah, it was scary. And yeah, I lived in a different house. And they were coming to my house. They were sending pizzas to my house. They were putting things in my vehicle, threatening to off me and cut me up and put me in a burn barrel and all this other shit. Poke my eyes out, you name it. And they were putting my family's obituary pictures up. People in my family, close family that have died, they were coming on my stream with an obituary picture and their name. So it looks like my dead relatives were in my jet. Yeah, it was pretty bad. So yeah, I don't want to go through that again. Not only that, but I'm single and I live out in the country, you know what I mean? I just don't need it. And I've never ever been one that wants to be famous or well known, you know what I mean? I don't want that. Companies can be located anywhere and have a base anywhere. Yeah, I could open up a company and say I'm from New York, or whatever, Miami, Florida. I agree. And did he really tell them to stop sending money once he had enough? Kind of. He did. Kind of, Tina. Ours was Cedar Valley Builders, Apple Creek, Ohio. David. That sounds like both the same names. In fact, do I still have it? Right here. Hostetler. Haas. Okay, so they have a CH. Hostet. See, they added the CH. Wait a minute. And it's in Loudonville, Ohio. No, they weren't eventually caught because I didn't know how to go about it. This was in like 2017 or 2018. And it was like almost 10 years ago. It was almost 10 years ago. So it was 9 years ago, probably. And yeah, I didn't know really how to go about it. And it was kind of new. That kind of stuff was new to police and everything. They've done a lot in the last 10 years to catch people. But back then, my local police didn't know what to do. You know what I mean? But they were sending pizzas to my house every night on my live stream. Every night. Doorbell rings. You know what I mean? Even if I turned all the lights out, made it look like I wasn't home, doorbell rings. And it wasn't me that was out the money. It was the pizza place that's out the money. They're out $30 or more. The pizza boy that comes, he just did all this for nothing. You know, so every night after night, they're costing somebody 30, 50, 60, $80, whatever. And you know what they would do? They would send pizzas that had ham and bacon on it, knowing that I eat kosher, you know what I mean? And at the time, I wouldn't know. So I can't even like pay the poor guy for it because it wasn't kosher. I was eating kosher back then. I still do for the most part. But anyway, so they're purposely sending pizzas that I can't eat. And I mean, I couldn't eat or didn't want to eat. We heard about him from a friend who had. Well, hey, Nan, good to see you tonight. Good morning. We heard about him. Yeah, and Molly kind of, she knows about that. We heard about him from a friend who had one built. We went to his house business and drew up plans together. No cheese or Pennsylvania Dutch rituals. You didn't have to do any rituals. The Pennsylvania Dutch ritual. Hold on a second. I'm going to see if. All right, so Hostetler and that is weird that it's so close to that other company with this almost the same name. All right, then the other one was what? Cedar. Well, here, let's just look on dude's Facebook. What do you say? I think he said the same thing from Apple Creek. Oh, I thought he said Cedar Creek. I got the creeks mixed up, but knows about when I had the stalker on my live streams. Were you around back then? It was pretty close, but when you came on, maybe you came on after that. It was when I first started doing live streams in 2017. That's when YouTube made it easy for people to do live streams. You didn't need like a WhatsApp. Yeah, the stalker was a widow, yeah. Yeah, so anyway, I go out of my way not to give out my information and stuff. I just don't need it. Like I said, I'm not looking for any kind of none of that stuff. So let me look here. What do you say? Here. I knew it was Cedar Creek. Look. All right. Coincidentally, the businesses was and is ran by Samuel Mass, Robert Mass' son, that operates an established log cabin enterprise. Okay, right here. If this is true, then Robert Mass is he's up a creek. He's up Cedar Creek without a paddle. He said Cedar Creek, Londonville, Hosh. It's the same. It's just spelled a hair different. Coincidentally, the business was and is ran by Samuel Mass that operates the established log cabin enterprise Cedar Creek Cabins in Crab Orchard, Kentucky. Okay, so this one's in Kentucky, but it's the same name and is connected to Hochstetler Milling Company. He's also connected to that. And that one is in Loudonville. Yeah. What are the odds of that? Because sometimes people will do that. They'll purposely make their name like a successful company. And it looks like what he did, because not just one name, but copied two names. Apparently, allegedly. Yeah, recommended Samuel Mast, owner. Oh, there it is. He recommended Samuel Mast, the owner of Cedar, whatever I just said, Cedar Creek, whatever, log homes. Yeah. That was Grace that couldn't find me. Yeah. Yeah, Molly got stalked too. Yeah, I do have home protection. Yeah, everybody here does. Yeah. So yeah, I go out of my way to just be anonymous. I mean, I'm at Fort Knox, basically. But I still don't need it. I mean, I don't need that. Nobody needs people threatening them and trying to show up at your house. And I got animals too I got to worry about, All right, there you go. All right, there you go. Samuel Mast. Account been suspended. And I don't think you can suspend your own account. I think that's them that did it. Yeah. Samuel Mast. There he is. Yep. Well, he actually autographed that one couple's, the Coles or whatever their name was. Yeah. So there it is, right there. Stop. There it is. Samuel Mast, owner of Cedar Creek Log Cabins. Yep. So yeah, if you weren't here earlier, you guys, I was saying that I wasn't aware of this channel on YouTube until recently. It's called Clarence Oliver Rowe. I don't know who runs it. They don't really talk the same as the people I would suspect. So I have no idea who runs this, if it's a guy or girl. I really don't care. Don't care. Care about the information that's put out. So anyway, they got a lot of stuff. Let's see the reels. Oh yeah, I got the reels. You know what I noticed? I was looking for he's got some reels. I was looking for something on Patrick's Facebook, and I noticed something. Well, a couple things I noticed. I noticed that, number one, pretty much all his old Facebook videos are back up with the Whitakers, Timmy videos, which I thought that's weird because if he's getting charged the 11 felonies, and I think 10 of them are for exploiting. I'm not sure, at least 5 felonies for exploiting. I forgot what the other ones were. But if he's been charged with 5 felonies for exploiting each one of the Whitakers, then how is he able to put them videos back up? The ones that he's in trouble for exploiting. I don't get that. I don't get that at all. And so I didn't get. But yeah, so I was looking at crap. Hold on a second. Hey. Kitten. There's a kitten in here, so but anyway, I was looking at his. Yeah, I did notice that. I noticed that like all them videos are back up, and I don't get that. There's another one that I saw. I was kind of can't remember. There was something I was going to say about it. Hold on a second. All right. So, anyways, check out Clarence Oliver Rowe if you are on Facebook. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that is about it. I could play some more Robert. Oh, I hear. Here, this is what I was gonna play. I don't think I did play it. I'm sorry. I pulled it up on a separate thing. All right.
Much better thing. Better master. Because all figured out. Robert asked him, this guy doesn't want to be on camera and go here. No, guys, this was not the way I wanted to be on camera. I was planning on being out there to do what needed to be done to help the process move along.
To help the process move along. And then that's a weird thing to say, that if you're going to come and film the Whitakers, I'm making the process come along. Yeah.
I wish this was opened up, but I've got so much more. But right now, the focus is on bringing to me, and I get that behind him.
He wants to get that behind him.
Much better.
Yeah, so Robert doesn't want to be on camera. Mark doesn't want to be on camera. You know what's weird? I saw Mark Douche, which his last name is Escobar, and he's from, I think, San Diego, California. Can't remember. Anyway, I saw him in like a political ad, and I can't remember, like a local thing. You know what I mean? Like city council or something like that. Anyway, yeah, so he's already been on camera. You know what I mean? So why wouldn't he want to be on this camera? Because, yeah, you could pull it up, just put in his name in California, you'll see, I can't remember what he was, city council, I can't remember, he's running for something, in local or something, or I can't remember what he was doing, but yeah, he's already put his face out there, so I don't know. All right. All of Eric's money expenses for travel, John Mastro. That's interesting. I wonder what that is. I flew in from Georgia to John Mast, Idaho. Oh, yeah. I'll just show you the videos I got on this. All right, Robert Mast Foundation. Robert Mast running the Amish house deal, told Betty and Eric he'd be gone 3 days without out of commission. He should have been in constant contact with Betty if they weren't even going to bring him. Really. Stupid. It's not like they have to go to a payphone and call home. You know what I mean? Anyway, Eric had no plans with the Amish. They were just doing what Robert said. Robert Mast's ex-in-laws come forward to speak out. Robin Bashir speaks up about John Mast and Robert Mast. Robert Mass don't want to be on camera. Robert Mass wrote the first $500 check. Now, somebody thought that they remembered him holding the check up. I don't know. And then I said, okay, what happened to that check? So last time he told the story, he added, and he added, yeah, Robert wrote the first $500 check. He goes, but he ended up ripping it up. Douche gives shout outs to the bishop and Robert Mass Bishop riding in Eric's car. Hey, let's we gotta watch that one. That's funny. Because this is such a BS story. So it would be really nice if somebody would get a hold of the bishop and ask him if he ever got a hold, if he ever rode in Eric's car and tried to make an Amish deal for the Whitakers. So I don't believe it. Because again, I don't think Eric thought that. I mean, unless Eric, remember, they said they knew him 35 years ago. Is there a connection between Robert Mast and the Bishop Sam Chupp? And I did look online, and their names were both together, but.
Messages, here you go.
Oh, yeah.
Oops, hold on a second. This is such a dumb story. And he knows the Amish don't have TV, so they're not going to watch. He even said that. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Now, this is when they just blew up the whole deal, called everything off. They're giving shout outs. I did a video on this, actually. I did a video on this and how he's giving shout outs to like the Amish cookie place and whatever. And Meredith down at accounting or whatever. And yeah, somebody made a nasty comment on that video and said, my aunt works down at that place. They weren't involved in this. And I'm like, I don't know your aunt, lady. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, Robert Mass coming, I mean, I can't express the goodness of that man, not just with this trip. And then the pastor of the Amish. Good people, dude. I actually had an Amish man riding my car to me.
I thought you were sitting there like, wait, we do this? He can't drive. So
I'm not. He's not just the Amish, he was the bishop. He was over the whole community. But I ain't trying to call him out here. He was happy to be in that car.
You know those streets are comfort.
And I took him to the market and he got to bring his groceries back.
Okay, and I said this before. Wait a minute. You brought him to the market? First of all, how did he get to the market? He says, I brought him. So are you telling me that you got a hold of this Amish bishop from the market? Now, this makes no sense because he said they had to go to the market, buy the big block of cheese. Then Robert did his magic. He stepped up, spoke Pennsylvania Dutch, bought a gigantic block of cheese, and then they said, okay, we'll bring you to the Amish, the bishop. Okay, so now Eric picked up the bishop and brought him to the store where they just like, wait, what? So what? The Amish said, yeah, you can talk to the bishop. So Eric goes and picks up the bishop and brings him to the store that they just got the name of the bishop. None of it makes sense. And I took him to the market and he got to bring his groceries back. Now, okay. So the Amish bishop said, hey, Eric, think I could comp a ride up to the market? You guys busy? No, we'll bring you up to the market. You know, so it makes no sense.
And I think he was happy to be able to bring us back in the car.
Right. There it is. Car.
All right, I'll leave him alone now. I don't think he's going to be watching this.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be. He knows he ain't going to be watching. Amish people don't watch YouTube.
He'll be watching this. But, no, dude, you would think that, like, talking to them might not be as easy to cut up with like we are. Dude, they're some of the most humorous and funny people I've ever met.
Yeah. Those invisible Amish bishops are a riot. I have talked to a few invisible bishops myself, and yes, they're funny. All right, so that's bullshit. And he just said right there, and when he said that live, I was watching it live. When he said that, I thought, yeah, that's why you can say anything you want. You could say you brought that Amish bishop to a strip bar. You could say anything and get away with it. Anything. They're never going to know. Especially if you never even met with the guy. But again, so it makes no sense. Like, you picked him up and brought him to the store. I thought you were trying to get his name from the people at the store. That makes no sense. And he went grocery shop and then you brought him home again? That makes no sense. That's not how things go. In fact, I just did a video about these, a real quick one, like 10-second video, the Amish going down the street with their horse and buggy. And I know exactly where they're going. About one more block is the Dollar General. They go to the Dollar General all the time. And they park their horse and buggy off to the side, kind of. But I'm going to tell you, when they leave, there's gigantic piles of horse poop. Now, I don't know if they have to shovel that up. I don't know. Maybe they just pretend they didn't see it. But, yeah, so I'm sure they were going to the Dollar General, but they know how to get to the store by themselves. They don't need Eric in his air-conditioned car. Anyway, I think that's all bullshit. But I would love to hear from somebody that spoke to the bishop, besides the police. I mean, it'd be great if they spilled the beans, but I don't think they're gonna. Remembering legends. These were Eric's legends: Ozzy Osbourne and Hulk Hogan. Remember, they died like within the same week or something. It's weird. And I think, who else died during that time was that YouTuber. What's his name? Kind of weird looking guy. Used to drink a lot, and anyway, he was a big Ozzy fan, and he was like mourning Ozzy, and then all of a sudden we hear he died. Anyway, yeah. So this is a dad talk episode. It's not even about the Whitakers.
I'm talking about it. Yeah, I want it to be, and I think it will be one day. I'm trying my best to keep my other projects separate from this because I'm not trying to promote myself on anything that I do. Yeah. But I got some other projects I'm working towards that I'm very passionate about. I mean, just getting a family like the Whitaker family, dude, and offering help. Like, if that can inspire other.
This is when he, just first got hooked up.
And offering help. Like, if that can inspire other people to do the same in their community, I see so many people reaching out wanting to do stuff from the Whitakers, and I'm like, guys, do you not understand how many other families just like the Whitakers there are within a 20-mile radius of wherever you are in the United States of America?
Right, so he could have adopted anybody within a 20-mile radius of his house. You know what I'm saying? Eric, tell us, why did you go over state lines and go help the Whitakers? Everybody else supposed, and you should. I think you should help people within arm's length. You know what I mean? But he's trying to tell everybody else, there's people around you. You should help. But yeah, this is his big opportunity to go with the Whitakers.
20-mile radius of wherever you are in the United States of America. Just get out in your community and start doing it. Yeah, it's all you got to do. I'm glad that people love this family, but there's more out there. And if that can inspire people to get more involved, and I think it will. I really do think it will. I've got a lot of work that's got to be done there after I get back from the trip with the Mass family. I'm doing that trial. I get a few days at home, and then I'm off to West Virginia. So I had a year or so rest from the road, and I'm right back. It's been nice. It's been nice. I don't miss the airplanes and living out of the suitcase. I hate it.
Yeah, he hates us so much that's what he got right back into with the Whitakers. Yep. On and on and on, though. But I got a lot of clips. So excited about working with the Whitakers, and John's just doing all this out of the goodness of his heart. He's paying for everything. No reason. But yeah, and it turns out that they're, in my opinion, they're all in it together. All right, let me get back in the chat here real quick. All right, let me see if there's any more. Maybe I'll pick out one more. Just spent 4 weeks with Robert Mast in Idaho before all this. Eric was in Idaho with John Mast trial for a week. Here, this is a good one. Oh, no. There's a lot of good ones. I'm going to pull this one up because this is, I was going to do something else. There's a lot of good ones I could play, but here, these are ones I haven't shown people. None of these, actually. So, remember I said that not only did he invite his friends, Eric invited his friends, but his friends invited friends. And here, and remember I told you, once Robert Mast came and they had to pick him up from North Carolina or something, there was still another person, a mystery person. We never found out who it was, but it was the person that was connected to Robert Mast was also coming in, and he also stayed in the Airbnb with Eric, Douche, Robert Mast, and Timmy. Mm-hmm. All right, even Robert Mast had a visitor. Yeah.
That was there as we was going and scoped it out, made some videos, and she even saw a video of me walking the property I put online. Yeah. And we brought Robert Mast back because he had a former Amish that drove 4 hours to come and see him here. Wow.
Yeah, see that? We even had to go pick up, even Robert Mast had a visitor in Odd, West Virginia.
Walking the property I put online.
Okay.
Yeah. And
then we brought Robert Mast back because he had a former Amish that drove 4 hours.
We brought Robert Mast back because he had a former Amish.
Now it would make sense if his son Samuel Mast, he's also former Amish, and I think Kentucky, is that a 4-hour drive from Harrisburg, Virginia? Can you get to Kentucky or North Carolina? I don't have the map in front of me. Do you think you could get to either Kentucky or North Carolina in 4 hours from Harrisburg, or Odd? Then we brought Robert Mast back because he had a former Amish that drove
4 hours to come and see
4 hours to come and see him here. Dwayne's like, wow, you guys are really partying it up. Wow. Yeah. Wow. And what did they all have to do with the Whitakers? Absolutely nothing. Yeah, so Timmy, soon as I got in the door.
So Timmy, as soon as I got in the door,
ran and gave him a big hug. Yeah, sure he did.
That was there.
As soon as I got in the door. So who was watching Timmy? Anyway. Cray. Yeah, that's not even the one I was going to show you one more. Wait a second. Let me pull up the chat so I can see that. Its web address is www.loghome.com. Its name is Living by Log and Timber Home Living. Interesting. Eric is a modern day flim flam man, yes. I just found the Mast Cabin Company. It isn't anything like the name Cedar Creek. Website is Log Home. Hold on a second. Mast is the Mast one? Here, let me pull that up. www.loghome. This is Sam Mast. Loghome.com. That's simple. Wait a second. Let's see what that is. That's Sam Mast? That's it. Do y'all remember when Eric said that Robert Mast, yes. The Robert Mast wife had hip surgery and he left her to come to West Virginia to help the Whitaker family. Yeah, that was really dumb. He said she would, and listen, if you're an elderly woman and you break your hip, you're screwed. Elderly anybody. There it is. Log homes, log and tip. You know, I had this one up at one time. I had this up, but I thought it was the wrong one. I've already had this one up, but I took it down because I didn't think it was him. And this is the one that they got a cabin called the Abraham Lincoln. I'll call up and say, yeah, my name is Kathy, and I'm wondering if I could order the Abraham Lincoln model. Yeah, is that a one-room shack? Yeah, I'll take that one. Is that the cheapest? Yeah, I remember this. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Can you imagine Whitaker's trying to maintain this? Log home photos. Where's his name on here? Hold on a second. Log home living. All right. See, I couldn't find the guy's name on here. I couldn't find Matt's name on here. I've been on this site before. Oh, this is, I like these. This is a stag chandelier made out of deer antlers. Man, it's expensive too. I've been looking at lighting and stuff. But yeah, I don't see his name on here though. I have had this up. Look at that. Woo! That is beautiful. Kentucky log home that was lost and found. Yeah. Lincoln logs. That's a good one. Yeah, it's Lincoln logs. Yes, I remember. Yeah, me too. Because who would leave your elderly wife in basically a body cast? You know. It's so hard when an elderly person, because they're not mobile then. And once you're not mobile, you have all kinds of problems. Bed sores and infections, and seems like a typical cabin, the up north. The up north one? Yeah. So, So yeah, where's his name on here? Because I couldn't find it. It does mention Sam Mass Cedar Creek Company, but I couldn't find it. Yes, okay, so that's what I had the trouble last. This is where I hit a brick wall last time because I couldn't find his name connected to it. But nonetheless, Robert Mass builds log cabins. There was no need to find some stranger. But I do find it interesting that Douche slipped and said that they knew the bishop for 35 years. And interestingly enough, he left Pennsylvania 35 years ago, where I think the bishop was from. I don't know. Copy and paste area. He recommended Samuel Mast. Oh, I did have that up. I can't see the Whitakers getting up and us. Exactly. Can you imagine trying to keep this clean? Well, imagine trying to heat this thing. Listen, they're in this tiny one-room, mobile home, and they have trouble paying for the heat in that little mobile home that they're in. Imagine trying to pay for the heat. How about pay for the taxes on $1 million home every year? I think it'd be $6,000 a year. And if they don't pay it, well, then the Whitakers lose their property. Even if 15 people are on it, the 15 people lose their property to the state taxes. I mean, or county. I think it's county. I know I get a bill from the county for my taxes. And I don't care if I had 10 family members on it. If we don't pay the taxes, I think they go a few years. They might go a few years, depending on their collateral or whatever. Yeah, I can't see any of this. Dumb. And as a matter of fact, instead of doing something stupid like this, I'm just seeing if they have. Let me see. They could have gotten them a regular double wide mobile home, real nice, probably the nicest thing they've lived in most of their life. and the rest of the, $900,000 can go to Timmy's whatever. And interestingly enough, I just stumbled across a clip today of Eric saying that, well, they got to put everything there for this log home. He said, well, Timmy's going to inherit it, so we got to make sure Timmy has a trust. Well, who is he trying to adopt? Timmy, the one that he said is going to inherit this log home, which is a lie. Because not only would, if they all die, which they chronologically would probably pass away before Timmy, but at some point, Betty, Larry, Lorraine, and Ray all die. It doesn't go in Timmy's name. That's dumb. It would go in Timmy's and BJ's and all the other family members and their kids. You know what I mean? So I think he found out that he can't really make anything off this log home. The property is not in their name across the street. It's in a flood zone. The one that they do own is owned by, a dozen other Whitakers, and they're just never going to own it. Well, they are beautiful, but it's like $1 million probably. Need a loan? Yeah, right. Need a loan? Yeah. Yeah, no, I'll pass on that. And that's why this is like an elderly couple's dream home, is because, you have to work your whole life to own something like this. You know what I mean? This isn't something that you hand to people and living in a dilapidated trailer that they can't keep up. You know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway, just dumb. And remember, I even did a video. He said this was all a pipe dream. Yeah, it was a pipe dream. Look at where it stopped. This stopped automatically on this. Look, Dwayne. We're gonna see a clip by Dwayne. Hold on a second. That stopped on its own right there. Let's see what Dwayne has to say about Robert Mast. He pulled out the Hail Mary of all Hail Marys. Yeah, BJ. They would all. I mean, it's in what'd they say, 14 different Whitakers names. And a whole bunch of them haven't been seen for decades. Nobody even knows who they are or where they are. So yeah, it'd basically be
it's all on my own dime. So the assholes out there calling me a scammer, fuck you.
Oops.
Now back to the story. So in between
Stop, Dwayne. Stop. Just drop the F-bomb, dude. I wasn't even prepared for that. Hold on a second. All right, so he's saying that he didn't make a dime. Okay, Dwayne said he didn't make a dime, and that's a lie, Dwayne, because you did the website, which I think got a lot of money for, and you're not doing this for free either. There's no way Dwayne was doing this for free when his bestie Eric and Mark or whatever, all his friends are making all this money. There's no way. I don't believe. Maybe, but I don't believe Dwayne did all this for free. And we know he got paid for the website because Eric said we had to pay a lot of money for that website. And then later he says Dwayne did the website. So for sure he did that. Yeah, mouth wide open, ready for Eric's foot. I'd love to have a log cabin. Right. That's what he said. That's what Eric said. I have that clip, actually. I have that clip. I'd love to live in a log cabin, you guys. I live in a trailer. I have that. Yeah, websites aren't cheap. You're right, Cheryl. They're probably a few $1,000s. I don't know. I had one time. My boss, well, she wasn't really a boss. She's somebody that I contracted through. She made me the website, and I never asked her what it cost, but I know it costs a lot. And she had to pay a monthly fee to keep it up or something like that. So after a couple of years, she said, do you even need that website? I said, no, I've got more business than I can handle. And so she took it down because she says, well, I've been paying on it for 2 years, a monthly pay. So anyway, so I know that she paid a lot of money for my website, and she paid to keep it up on a month. So I don't know what that all is. I never had one, but she did it all and designed it and everything. But yeah, so I think there's also a fee to keep it every month. But I don't know. But that was all waste because who used it? I want to see tweaky fingers when Timmy pretend. Do you? I got that. You know I do. All right, let's listen to this and I'll get the tweaky fingers.
On my own dime. So the asshats out there calling me a scammer, fuck you. Now,
All right. Hold on a second. See, somebody in the Dwayne is really offended because somebody. Yeah, I'm gonna show you.
it's all on my own dime.
Right here. Somebody called Dwayne a scammer. Who is this guy Eric's talking with? Karen says another scammer he brought in to try to defuse the situation and make him look innocent. You're right, Jason. And then somebody else wrote, Carolyn, it's one of Eric's cronies. He was being paid out of, hold on a second, out of the Whitaker money. Let me just take this out. So they're all saying, yeah, he's a scammer. Yeah, one of Eric's cronies. He was being paid out of the Whitaker. Was he being paid out of the Whitaker's money, out of Whitaker's cut too? His name is Dwayne somebody. All on my own. Yeah, that's what they all. And so you think to yourself, wait a minute. Why would you leave your wife with a broken hip to go for no reason, spend plane tickets? I mean, it's just not even realistic. But the reason I believe that Eric says that every time they're doing it out of their own pocket, they're out of my pocket, this out of my pocket, it's out of his pocket. He's paying his way. Mark's paid his own way. John paid his own way. Everybody's paying their own way. Like, okay, so that way it looks like, okay, so we can't really say that they're benefiting anything. Yeah, they are. Yeah. That way you can't try to think that they're making anything off of this. Of course they are. Why would you even leave the house? They don't even know the Whitakers. And Eric obviously hates half that family. He hates Betty, Larry, and BJ. So half of the 3 out of the 6, Eric can't even stand. So they're doing all this. Okay, makes sense.
Guys out there calling me a scammer.
All right, he can't keep swearing like this. 1 second. I gotta mute this.
So in between running around like a madman, Eric pulls in backup. Robert Mast, yeah, ex-Amish Robert Mast, the father who 1 month earlier was.
That's my dog barking in the back, I think. Robert Mast, father, 1 month earlier.
In court fighting for justice for his slain son.
No, actually, the justice was already done. He was fighting for the money, actually.
Flies in on his own dime to help. Why?
Flies in on his own dime to help.
Because he can actually talk to the Amish and keep this house going.
Because he can actually talk to the Amish. You know, we can't. I can't. You can't. Not my monkey. She can't talk to the Amish. Nobody can. Only Robert Mast, okay? So you better not ask no questions. If it wasn't from Robert Mast, these Amish log company homes would be going out of business. That's what he does.
And another buddy of his, Mark, shows up in California.
Mark, yeah, another one.
Help him juggle the mountain of moving pieces.
Help him juggle the mountain of moving pieces. That makes no sense because Eric specifically said that Mark, first he said he's a cameraman. He came in to hold the camera. He needs a cameraman. He said that. Right up to the day that Friday when everything blew up, he even called him the cameraman then. And then he also, let me see, he called him the cameraman, and he also said he was his emotional support friend or something. Like emotional support pet, same thing. But then he turned into the project manager. So anyway, so he flies in to help him juggle a mountain moving. That makes no sense. There was no moving.
Wow, teamwork makes the dream work, right? Wrong. Because with the eyes on the prize, the damn house for the Whitakers, Eric accidentally missed the court date on September 4th.
Well, he swore up and down that Betty canceled it. So Here you go. He missed it. They all paid their own way out of their own pockets, so Eric should have that 240,000 stashed away, ready to pay. That's right. If Patrick had just spoken up when Eric called APS, the family would have still been together. That's right. Remember how angry Patrick was when Adult Protection showed up on his front lawn. He told him to get the F off my property, and they did. And they closed the case. So when the APS showed up again, why didn't Patrick say, hey, get the F off their property? Just get the F out of here. No, all of a sudden his tune changed. Why? Because he was getting thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands. And he was getting the Whitaker's portion.
Oh, and let me clarify, the only person who could have testified was Betty. Everyone else.
Yeah. And that's wrong because Eric admitted he was the one that did all the talking at the court. He said they didn't even talk. I had to do all the talking, and I wrote everything. So all the testimony came from Eric. He admitted it. Let me see if I can find that. Yeah, what did I put that under? Let me see if it's under Friday. Oh gosh, I got 81 videos labeled with the word Friday in it because a lot happened on that Friday. I'll find it. I got a clip where Eric says every time Timmy rolls the window down, my butt clenches. Oh man. A second. All right. Let me see something. I gotta find out what I put it under. Maybe I put it on the 5th. Hold on a second. Oh my gosh. I got 200 clips on labeled the 5th. Yeah, I have it. I do. I just gotta find it. God, you guys, I have so many clips. It's unreal. I gotta start making more videos so I can tie these all together. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot what I put it under. I'll just put it up and post it on my thing so you can watch it wherever you want. Timmy knew how to roll the windows down. Did Eric teach him that? Yeah, he did. And you know what's funny? Because I'm going to make a video. Where I'm going to make a video where Patrick is saying, I taught Timmy how to speak. And it's so funny because when I went to get into my file, I typed it up and it came up two videos with the exact same thing. One says Eric is claiming he taught Timmy how to speak, and another video I have, Patrick is claiming he taught Timmy how to speak. Yes, Timmy still doesn't speak English. I mean. Anyway, let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I just gotta find it. Yeah. And make sure to check out Sarah Little's page too on YouTube because she's got a lot of clips. She's got a lot of good stuff, and she puts it together real good. As a matter of fact, Toddy went over one of her videos recently. Today she did. He had to roll him down till that Eric's tumbler farts. Tumbler farts. Oh man. Let's see. Let's see here. I don't know. Did I put it in her tweaky fingers? I don't know. Camper. I got so many. I got thousands, literally. So give me a second. Yeah. Let me see. Let's see. Yeah, it's the who's in the camper. I should have labeled it who's in the camper. That was like one of them skits. Who's on first? Who's on second? Who's in the camper? All right, let's see if I can find it. Who's in the camper? Nope, it's not under camper. Let me see. I thought it would have been on Friday the 5th. And you know what? When he was on the porch that day, guess what? That is the very last time. I thought about this the other day. That picture is the last time the Whitakers were on camera. Hoosier the camper? Oh, shoot. Let's think. That was the last time we ever saw the Whitakers on camera together, was when Eric was screaming at them. Yeah, but I keep hearing Mark Leda say, if there anything like that happened, I would have never let that happen. If they needed help, I would have never let them be taken like that. And I believe him. Gosh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I would have to look. I got a lot of videos. Grace just put up Sarah's. Thank you, Grace. She put up a link to Sarah's channel. She's got a lot of good videos. Timmy pretended to read the paper while Eric was lying to his family. I know. That just shows you he wanted a wall, a barrier. He wanted a barrier between him. And so you guys think about that. Timmy's putting that newspaper up. He doesn't want to look at Eric. He doesn't want nothing to do with Eric. He's trying to put a barrier between him and Eric. And he sees Eric doing this to his family, right? Then Eric leaves all mad. And they probably thought, thank God that a-hole's gone. And so they had Friday to themselves. They had Saturday to themselves. They had Sunday to themselves. All right, so they probably thought, good, I hope he went home. Well, Monday morning, guess what? All the police come and they get hauled away. And guess what? When they get to the hospital, who comes through the hospital door? Eric. Because you can imagine the reaction all three of them had. Because they had all weekend to talk about what Eric just did. And how everybody was right. He's trying to tear the family apart. Yeah, there's a huge difference between Mark, Al, and Lawrence. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, what do we got here? Nope, that ain't it. Yeah, anyway. But I will look. Besides when they were strapped to the gurneys. Yeah, right? And you know what? And I found it disturbing, and somebody repeated it not that long ago. Eric said that somebody asked Eric, hey, did you see the ring cam when they were hauling Timmy out of Patrick's house? And he said, no, I didn't see it. You know he did. But he said, no, I didn't see that, but I wish I could have seen what happened. He said something like, no, I didn't see Timmy getting hauled out, which I didn't believe. But he said, I wish I had a video of Ray and Lorraine, what happened there. Like, that's weird. He wanted to see his work. He wanted a trophy. for his work. You know what I mean? He wished he had video of Lorraine and Ray being hauled away. And then that's creepy and weird. Why would you want to watch that? You know, why would you want a video of well, I wish I had a video. I wish I could have seen them getting hauled away or something like that. Eric was so angry at the family, I thought he was going to hurt one of them. I know. Just think of how Eric behaved off camera. Yeah, you know what? And he did. He cut that video off. You know, I turned the light switch off. Yeah. I imagine they didn't want to see Eric. No, they didn't. And Eric spent all weekend working with adult protection to extract them. And actually, yeah, so his buddy Mark calls it snatch in place because he said that he's been involved in this before. Eric's friend, Mark Douche, said he's been involved in this before. It's called the snatch in place. They snatch him out of home and they place him somewhere that gets a bunch of money. I mean, and remember how absolutely, in his words, livid he is when he doesn't get his way. Because the camera footage, oh, right, he did cut that off. He just, I mean, you can only imagine what happened after the camera got shut off. Goodness. You know, and he sure is. And then supposedly, as him and Mark went to leave, Timmy went running like a scene out of Love Story, and runs and hugs, stops and runs and hugs Eric, and said, "Are you coming back today?" And I know what he was saying. He's saying, "Are you coming back today?" And I said, "No, Timmy, you're going to have to stay." And he said, "Today? Come back today?" And I said, "No, Timmy, you have to stay." Like, BS. We just saw him run from you. And if he wanted to go with Eric, probably adult protection probably would have let him. You know what I mean? All right, let me see here. I'm still looking for the one on the porch. I don't know what I called it. I'll have to stumble on it accidentally. You know, anytime I start looking at my catalog here, I'm amazed at all these clips. Oh, here. Remember, I just told you this. I told you guys when I was looking for something, about Patrick teaching Timmy how to talk. I told you this, what I saw. Eric teaching Timmy to talk. They're both claiming that they taught. And this is funny, too, because this clip has Patrick in the picture. And Patrick's like, "No, I taught Timmy how to talk." He said, "I love you." Like he's never said that in his life. You know what I mean? Anyway. Oh, man. All right. I mean, I got so much contradictions. All right. I mean, like 100% of donations goes to the Whitakers. Okay, then where is it? They didn't get $1. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, there's so many. I just get so sidetracked. Goodness. Yeah. And it's so weird how he had an entire literally thousands of people wanting him to adopt Timmy. It's like he's a YouTuber. He just met the guy. He doesn't need to be adopted. I don't know. You know what's sad though? For a while, we heard that Betty was having regular visits, right? I was really happy. Like, wow, okay. That's kind of a big relief that Betty's having regular visits with Timmy, Ray, and Lorraine. Well, then, a week or two ago, I'm hearing, no, not at all. Betty got one visit. And I asked somebody today I was on the phone with, I said, "Do you think Betty only got one visit?" And they said, "Yeah, she only got one visit." And then something happened on social media. I hear it was one person that ruined it. I heard somebody else ruined it. But anyway, so Betty's only seen him one time in a year. You guys, we're coming up on the anniversary. We should have an anniversary stream on, because you guys, what day is it? The 16th? No, it's the 17th. All right, tomorrow's the 18th. All right, well, this is the time last year where the shit was hitting the fan. I mean, let's see. Anyway. Yep, it is coming up on a year, you guys. And so in September, what was it? Let's see, the 5th was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 5th, 6th, 7th. So it was Monday the 8th. Monday the 8th is when the Whitakers were taken out of their home. And exactly 1 year later, on the 15th, I think it would be, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, yeah. So Monday the 15th is when the investigation opened up. Right after they sent Eric packing. No, you know what? We're not going to give you Timmy. Yeah, why don't you go ahead and go home and, we'll get you a video call and that's about all they got. A video call. And I've got two conflicting things. I've got video where Eric says that he was Eric Mass was in Idaho. I mean, Eric was in Idaho with John Mass for 1 week. And I also have him saying that he was there in the entire month of July. So which is it? Yeah, I'm not even seeing it. Anyway, I'll have to find it. I'll post it if I find it. How about that? Because, yeah, I just got too many to look for. And if I don't know what I put it under, I just got to search. All right. Hold on a second, you guys. Got to pull your comments back up. And if there was ever anything that you guys want me to cover, let me know. I'm going back in the comments here. Give me a second. All right. Enemy number one. That's right. Eric was so angry at the family, I thought he's going to hurt one. That's right. Imagine they didn't want to see Eric after that. No, because the camera footage, yeah, he ain't going to show that. Imagine. I mean, we saw how mad he was an hour later at the Airbnb. He was pissed. That was an hour after they left there. Imagine what the staff discovered when Betty told them what happened. The staff? It's a common criminal. His buddy says they do this. Yeah, he did. This is what we do, you guys. Yeah, and usually they extract the snatch in place. They usually get 10,000 a piece and blah blah. We did it in Georgia. We did it in here. We did it in there. Like, wait, what? Yeah, they killed my friend's husband. What do you mean this is what you do? All right, so maybe this, who knows? Maybe it goes way deeper than we know. Where was Jason when the family needed? You know what's weird? I thought about Jason today. And as a matter of fact, Nazarene, I even pulled up my Jason videos because I wanted to see. Remember when they were at the Airbnb? In fact, I just saw that. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you what I saw today because I thought about Jason today. You know what Jason did? Jason did tell him. The whole family was trying to tell Betty to get away from Eric. He's trying to rip the family apart. That also came from Kenny up the road. You know what else I saw? I saw a clip where Eric said that Kenny's working with him and Patrick against the family. I'm thinking that's weird. Some of these clips I don't even remember doing. Okay, let's see. So we got Jason. I'm going to pull up Jason. I'm going to show you. I got 7 clips on Jason. All right. So I'm going to show you real quick what I got for Jason. He saw so when Eric went into town to pay the water bill, on that day, he said, "Yeah, I met Jason." He didn't say had anything bad to say about Jason. Eric knows Jason. What does Larry do all day? He paid the water bill. Okay. Whitaker's protective of each other. Jason pulled a pistol on Mark. So Jason has pulled a weapon on Mark the first time he showed up. Okay. And matter of fact, here you go. Patrick Rourke bought the property from Brian Dixon. Jason Whitaker used to live there. Jason is at Grandma's house now. Huh. Patrick Rourke bought the property from Brian Dixon. Why does that name sound familiar? Huh. Interesting. I mean, listen, this just pisses me off. I don't even know if I want to play it. All right, so, but Jason did come in, and so I've made a few videos, you guys. I've never even put up. I saw one today, over an hour-long video. I never even put up, and I'd have to look at him to remember why I didn't do it. But there was a video that I made, like, why aren't none of the Whitakers helping get the family back? Like, why isn't Kenny helping to get the family back? Why isn't Jason? Why aren't all these people, all them other Whitakers that we know up in the holler or whatever, the ones that we don't even know? What about, family members we haven't met? How come nobody's helping get these 3 home? Well, then I thought to myself, you know what? They did. They were warning Betty till they were blue in the face. Betty, stay away from Eric. He's trying to take your family away. And I think maybe the first time they ghosted Eric was because, number one, he wasn't paying them. 2 paydays went by. They didn't get shit. But also, I think people were starting to were warning back then in August. But everybody was warning Betty. He's trying to take your family away. Kenny warned him. Jason warned him. Everybody warned, and she didn't listen. And and now we hear from Mark later that he said, "Hey Betty, I see that you're getting all these other people to do videos with. If you're going to stay with these people, then I'm stepping out." And you know what Betty did? She stayed. Stayed with these people. Instead of just telling everybody to, go away. We have somebody that already does videos with us. But so Betty was warned by so many people that they probably said, "I told you that was going to happen. Told you so." I'd probably almost want to say that. "I told you." Yeah. Hold on a second. I've missed a bunch of comments. Yeah. Okay, here's what I left off. Just like Common Criminal, he did. His buddies say they do this. Yeah, this is what we do, you guys. We know what we're doing. That piece of the live where Mark said they do this all the time. Yeah, he did. I'm saying, and I'm thinking, and I commented on it. Wait a minute. What do you mean you do this all the time? That, and maybe that's why they had some type of poll. You know what I mean? Where was Jason when you need him? Yeah, they tried to tell him, hey, Two Paws, good to see you tonight. Welcome. Welcome to Two Paws, Kathy and Chet. Jenny, good to see you tonight. Welcome. That poor family, townspeople kept telling them that Eric was working to get them removed. Exactly, not my monkeys. They're trying to tell him. Then Eric tells them, no, that's not what's going on. Then he does it. Yeah, he did. Everybody was telling Betty, hey, Eric's trying to get your family taken away. Eric's trying to get your family taken away. And Eric's like, no, Betty, I would never do that. And then he gets the family taken away. Good grief. Everyone's saying hi to Jenny. I always thought that was weird anyhow. Kept making Betty talk to the camera, say, I love you too. Yeah, that is weird. It's all weird. And listen, why are you telling Timmy to say I love you to perfect strangers? It just seems manipulative. You know what I mean? It's just, nah. You don't want to say that to every, just weird. Yeah, and then we hear only one visit. Yeah, one visit. That's all she's gotten. And now she's cut off again because somebody went on social media and blew it. Okay, I heard it was, I heard Kenny went on social media and blew it for Betty. Then I heard it was that Joshua Tomlinson claiming to be his nephew, her nephew. I don't know. I've heard those two get blamed. I don't know who did it. I don't know, but somebody ruined it for Betty. Betty doesn't even have social media. She couldn't probably turn on a phone or YouTube if she tried. Yeah, everyone just imagine never seeing family who has been in your life. Yeah. Yeah. I just can't even believe it happened. And you know what? They haven't been able to even see the family, but yet Betty and BJ and Larry, nobody was charged with hurting anybody. Okay, I could see if they got arrested and locked up for horrible abuse. Yeah, then you can't see the family. But no, nobody got in trouble for doing anything. And you know, in all their life, I haven't seen anything on anybody's record that there was any type of domestic violence in that home. You know what I mean? Exactly, saying I love you to every person they ran into. Yeah, it was weird. Do you do that? Do I do that? No. I don't go up to everybody at the store and say, I love you. Like, that's just weird. Susan, you're green again. Oh, I didn't even see Susan. Hey, Susan, good to see you tonight. I didn't hear you come in. You're so quiet. Oh, I think I missed a bunch of comments. Yeah, you're right. Kenny. Oh, okay, I did miss it. Good to see you tonight, Susan. Welcome. Yeah, I think I missed some comments. People posting photos is not helping baddies see your family. That's right. And you know, they might be suspected. Maybe Betty took those pictures. Maybe Betty did the videos. It was probably one of their own employees. Who knows? Anniversary, birthday party for me. Well, happy birthday and anniversary. No, I think it was September 8th. They were taken on the September 8th, Monday the 8th, right? Wasn't it? Yeah, because Friday was the 5th, Saturday was the 6th, Sunday was the 7th. They got taken on Monday, September 8th. And you know what that was? It was exactly 1 week to the day when they did that Labor Day barbecue, when Eric pushed in the big used television. You know, the big deal about giving Ray a television. Exactly a week to the day, they would never be seen again. It's like practically like they were kidnapped. It was probably New York where he was that week. Hold on a second, I missed a bunch. Yeah. They thought he was like Mark. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, I believe Kenny was probably going up to Patrick's for money. Because Kenny's a drinker. You give him some beer, he'd probably say anything. Give him money, he'd probably say anything. I don't know. He was livid. He was in New York that week. Then Eric said that Mark and him was the only ones that could have visited the family. How stupid was AP? Yes, after all that, they pushed everybody away that was trying to help the three, and only opened the door to the two, in my opinion, demons that were trying to destroy their lives. Yeah, how stupid is adult protection there? Seriously, how stupid are they to fall for their crap and then only let the two, in my opinion, abusers yeah. I totally believe it's way, way deeper than any of us can. I think so too, TNT. I think so too. You love camping? The people who were chasing them. Yeah, what's up with the people chasing them from Airbnb to Airbnb? He said it had something to do with that copper, but I don't know. Kenny was probably doing it for money, yeah. When you read that name, I thought the exact same thing about that name. They thought they aren't smart enough, yeah. You're probably right. Kenny could probably be paid off. Yeah. In fact, here, I'll show you. You want me to show you? They said that Kenny is working for them against the family. Here, I'll pull up Kenny. We'll see what kind of file we got on Kenny. Let's see. It makes me wonder what's going on in that compound. Are there other people? Exactly, Tina. Yeah, who else have they snatched and placed or whatever? Susan, I didn't think it'd be a month. Susan says, I don't know why I stopped being green last night. I have not done anything new. Has it been a month since your membership maybe expired? I think you were probably one of my first channel members. And I remember the first person that bought a channel membership like a month ago. I said, wow, you're my first, and I'll never forget my first. And guess what, you guys? I forgot who my first was. It's been a month, for crying out loud. Anyway. Yeah. Yeah, so how you doing, Susan? Everyone's asking how Susan is. Have they adopted other special? Yeah, that's a good question. Because remember, Eric brags on how many people the mom adopted, the mom and dad. Oh, they had one just like Ray. His name was Keith. But just like Ray, he barked and he did all that. And then we had a Lorraine. Yeah, we had a woman that, the dad got on her and knocked her up. And they had a baby just like Timmy. And like, shut up. But nonetheless, he brags on how many people that the mom and dad adopted through his life. Yeah, who else is on that compound exactly? Because he certainly knew right to the dollar how much each person you can get for adopting. I mean, yeah. Anyway, Tina, they said in a live, we do this all the time. They did. He did. Douche said it. Now, what name was I was going to pull up Kenny. Oh, that's it. I'll show you where they claimed Patrick and Eric claimed that Kenny was on their side. I'm thinking, what? Come on, Kenny. Yeah, here. I'll show you. Look. Kenny is helping Patrick take down BJ. And remember, Kenny is BJ's dad's brother, right? Kenny and Larry are brothers. So Patrick and Eric are having Kenny help them, outsiders, take down Kenny's own brother and his daughter, his own niece. Let's put it that way. 11:50. Oh, wait a second. Now, this was the day that they're conniving and conspiring to take down BJ. And they're pretending that BJ's been evicted, Eric's coming back, he's going to save the day, got to get rid of BJ, and even Kenny's helping get rid of BJ. So I haven't seen this one in a very long time, probably 9 months. So we'll see what it says here. Hold on a second. There you go. Remember this one? He's rushing back to save the day because, well, payday was 2 days ago, and BJ and the Whitakers are pissed because they didn't get nothing in July, and now they just got a shitload of money again, and they're not getting paid. So here.
Oh, Patrick, I would think late 40s, early 50s. Yeah, she's probably, how old is BJ?
Okay, so Kenny is sitting there with Patrick. How old is BJ?
What do you think older kids? 48. Yeah, that's what I figured. That sounds about right.
I gotta get the rest of this. I gotta find the rest of this. Yeah, you guys remember that when Kenny was taking their side? I couldn't believe it. Hold on a second. No comment supported. Hold on a second. Let me find the end of this. Yeah, so there's Kenny. And I also have a clip where he's telling Timmy to call Kenny an asshole. They're just trying to divide the whole family up. Kenny, call BJ a bitch. Bitch, call Kenny an asshole. Asshole, call Jason, your other cousin, an asshole. Asshole. And then Kenny comes over. Hey, Kenny, can you help us take down BJ? Yeah. What the hell is going on here? Makes me wonder. Hold on a second. I bet they are. Hold on a second. Betty did say she would buy beer for Ray and Kenny would drink it up. Yeah. Yep. Well, and that's why Kenny doesn't have a license, okay? Yeah, his license was, he lost his license because of it. Because of his drinking. I bet Eric is the only savior. Yeah, I bet they were paying him. Okay, and just think about it. Speaking of paying him, so they are getting enormous amounts of money. I just saw a text today, a text message. It might have been on that Facebook guy's account. But it said, hey, Eric was telling Patrick, hey, we're on course to make $55,000 off the YouTube for September's payday. And it was only like halfway through the month or whatever. It wasn't even a full month. So they were making enormous amounts of money. So, Raleigh County, West Virginia is known to have some crooked stuff going on. I personally put the videos up. One judge in the family court in Raleigh, right there, what she was doing, it took the feds to come in and knock her off the bench, basically, have her step down. And then the other judge that pulled a Colt 45 out on one of the lawyers that wasn't doing what he wanted, he got taken off the bench. So it's like unless the feds come in, they ain't going nowhere because they have these internal investigations. They investigate themselves. Oh, we're not seeing anything wrong here. So that's what happened with that one judge. The internal investigation, they found nothing wrong with, I investigated my friend and there's nothing going on. Well, then the feds came in and there was something going on. Yeah. I bet they were paying him, yeah. And so, with all that money coming in, they could have paid them authorities off. They could have paid off the cop, the sheriff. They could have paid off anybody. the adult protection, would it be, would it be, has it ever happened? Let's put it this way. Has public figures ever been paid off to do something crooked? Hell yeah. Happens every day. Okay, let's get even more, narrow it down more. Has anybody in Raleigh County, any officials ever been done something crooked for money? Hell yeah. Captain Twin Tumblers. This should be a t-shirt. Eric's mom should not Eric mom should have not adopt and show Eric some more. Yeah, right. You're right, Nazarene. Maybe she wouldn't have brought all them other kids in. Maybe Eric wouldn't have turned out the way he did. Focus more on her own kid. And honestly, $20 could have bought. Yeah, right. Well, a 12-pack of beer. And remember, you guys, remember one time after the shit hit the fan, the family got taken away. Patrick is doing a live stream, and Kenny comes up. Coincidentally, Kenny shows up during the live stream. I think it was winter. Kenny comes in during Patrick's live stream, and Patrick says, "Oh, hey, Kenny, how you doing?" "Oh, it's over there in the drawer." Remember that? "What's over there in the drawer?" And he said, "Hey, Kenny, since you're here, can you talk?" "I'm doing nothing wrong, am I?" "No, you're not doing nothing wrong." So when Kenny comes in, Patrick has some. "Oh, it's over there in the drawer." What, your payment for what he baited him up? "Hey, Kenny, come on up. I got some beers in the or something." I mean, anyway. I think BJ tried telling Betty and Larry, but I think they didn't take her seriously. Yeah, I think BJ tried to tell him. I think Kenny tried to tell him. I think Jason tried to tell him. And probably the neighbors and other people tried to tell him. Well, thank you so much. Susan says so much, sent 5 gift memberships. Thank you. Thank you very much, Susan. That's very kind, very generous. I very much appreciate it. Thank you so much. Susan, you are amazing. Yes, she is. Thank you, Susan. That's very, very generous. Grace says, congratulations to the new members. Susan, I'd love to speak to you on a personal level. I think Betty and Larry would listen to BJ, and the next day they blew her off like she was talking crap or starting to. Yeah, I think so too. I think it's easy to confuse Betty. Because if you tell her to say something, she'll say something. You'll say, "Well, Betty, why did you say it? Why did you agree?" Remember Mark Leda? He said, "Betty, BJ said that Larry died. And when she handed you the phone, I asked you, Betty, I said, is Larry dead?" And you said, "Yep, he dead." And he said, "Betty, why would you say that?" And she looked confused. She goes, "Because they told me to say that." Like, duh. So if somebody tells her to say something, she might not even know why she's saying it. "Susan, I don't have your email, girl. Could the care home they are in be connected to?" Yeah, that's what I thought from the beginning, Red Frog. Because remember, the care home was Res Care. Eric was telling everybody his mother worked for Res Care. And then coincidentally, Elizabeth Green said she worked for Res Care. And then, Eric's mother worked for Res Care. They kept coming at Res Care. Which would probably, it would be one reason why the adult protection would jump, because if his mother's been in the business for 30 years or 40 years, maybe they thought she knew what she was saying. Easy to confuse. Yeah, she's very easy to confuse this way. Well, none of them are very strong. You're right, Susan. And that's why it was so easy for Patrick. Both of them. For Patrick and Eric. That's why it was so easy for Eric. Because the Whitakers are like dealing with, no offense to the Whitakers, but it would be like trying to swindle, candy out of a kindergartner, right? It'd be easy. And as a matter of fact, I think Patrick was probably easy to swindle too. Just give him a bunch of thousands and to shut him up. I think that was when he was on ED's live stream. What was? Oh, he was doing a live stream, and maybe you're right, because I don't know if he knew how to do his own live stream back then. He probably was on somebody else's. Yep, he did. Why would you say that? Well, they told me to. Duh. Pluck and place. Accomplished. Pluck and place? I thought it was, what do you call it? It wasn't, Eric called it extraction. What did they call it? What did Douche call it? I can't remember. Something like pluck and place. Snatch and place. That's what he said. Snatch and place. Like, that sounds like human trafficking. Yeah, and that company is all over the United States. I've heard of it here in Indiana. Right. They are, and they're in different states. And I have video. As a matter of fact, let's see. I have video of it. Let's pull up ResCare in my file. Let's see, ResCare. I think it's with it. If I spelt it right. ResCare. Okay, I do have a video. I gotta say. Here, right here. I do have more than this, but under ResCare, spelt this way. Connect the dots. They're all connected to Eric, his mom, Elizabeth. Sonny. Remember Megan Sonny? She supposedly worked at ResCare. APS and ResCare. Yeah, that's actually published right now. The last live was September 9th. Eric's done. Wow, that's a 30-minute video. Is that even published? Like I said, there's a lot of videos I never even put up, you guys. I should go through them and start putting them up. Betty was going to get 8 hours a day from ResCare. Yeah, Betty was going to get 8 hours help a day from ResCare. My mom worked for ResCare. 1 second. Yeah. The last live, September 9th, Eric is done. Yep, ResCare, adult protection. Betty was going to get help. So that's who Eric went to. Eric went to ResCare to get Betty help. Like, wait, what? That makes no sense. You could have just went to the county and say, hey, can she apply for some help at her house? She's old and she's good taking care of people. You could have just went to the county. They do stuff like that. That's weird. I should watch this when when I get off of here. But not that one. This one. I wonder if I did put that up. Anyway. Yeah. So actually, I also have one where Eric is saying, my mom worked at ResCare. Yeah, let's see that one, huh? Let's see, connect the dots. Okay. And remember, who was on the phone promising Timmy he can have all the women he wants if he goes to Eric's house? And we're going to get you a girlfriend. Hi, nice to meet you, Timmy. We're going to get you a girlfriend. We're going to get you a bunch of girlfriends. Eric's going to do it. Just come to our house. You can have a bunch of girlfriends. Let's see. Eric's. All right. I'll find it. Let's see him. Huh. Okay. Okay. Timmy singing in the shower for singing about this is this one here. Timmy was in the shower singing about Eric's mom, his new Nana. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. I got so many. I'd have to look. Hold on a second. Yeah. Well, I don't even think Eric hid the fact that his mom was involved. And remember, when he was talking on the phone to Adult Protection, he didn't know that he was being recorded. He was talking to his mom. Well, could you just like fill out the papers and have them ready for me? And then when his wife says it's okay. Agree about Patrick being able to sway to Eric. Knew that. And that's exactly why I gave him the money for sheetrock. Right. It is, yeah. Patrick allegedly cheated them from May. Then allegedly Eric cheated Patrick. And the Whitakers, yeah, how did he like it? The double crossers start out with the Whitakers, and they double cross themselves, each other. It's crazy. I mean, it's, par for the course. Because the light switch was off, remember? Yeah, he did it backwards. So Eric thought he was turning the recording off, so he flipped the switch down like you would on a light switch. But Patrick said, I wired it in reverse, so down was on and off was up. So I don't know if that was probably accident. I don't think he planned it, but yeah. Agree about Patrick being able to sway too. But all that money for she got. Susan, hey Lucky, good to see you tonight. Susan, you were such a good friend of Patrick's and always defended him. Yeah, she was. And took all the heat for the fundraiser. I didn't know Susan. To be honest, I thought Patrick put the fundraiser up in some girl's name. If I had known Susan, I wouldn't have said nothing. But I thought Patrick was just pulling some shit. That's why. And I didn't try to stop the fundraiser because I don't know. You're in Illinois. And that company is, in Illinois, Indiana, yep. Eric was so fake, he was acting like he loved Timmy but didn't give a shit about his own daughter. Yeah, that is so bizarre. And you know what? The first time Eric ever had Timmy overnight in the Airbnb is, I think it was August 11th. I just saw it on here. So in 2 weeks, Eric was crying like he's trying to adopt his own blood child. You know what I mean? 2 weeks. In 2 weeks. As a matter of fact, Eric even said, I don't know if I've ever loved a kid this much. Like, wait a minute. You got your own kids. And he's not a kid. He's 5 years older than you. Patrick was smarter than what? I don't know. I don't know if he just wired it wrong and it turned out that, he caught Eric on the, I don't know. I don't know if that was planned or not, or a fluke. TNT, that's what I think. Timmy would cry. Oops. Cry in the shower, and Eric dumbass thought he. No, I don't even think Eric thought he was singing about his own mother. I think, and so I think that Eric told us, oh, you guys, he's not missing his mother. He's missing my mother. He calls my mom Nana. Like, wait a minute. I think that was just a cover because people are going to say, hey, he wants his mom, bring him home. No, he wants my mom. I'm going to bring him home to my house. Yeah, Eric is so fake. Yeah. But just to be completely transparent, Susan also defended AD. Yeah, but she found out who he was too. There was a lot of people who were on AD's channel who saw the truth. And you know what? Nobody had to hear it from me. I didn't tell not one person not to go to his channel. I never talked about him. I never said anything. I know that people are intelligent enough to figure it out yourself. If you stop going there, it's because you don't like them. Not because Kathy told you don't go there. No. In fact, I want you to go there. I want you to go anywhere you want. Figure it out for yourself. If you don't like it, then you can come here. Just see fake oozing out. Yeah. The GoFundMe was a joke. I said, do you want me to put up fundraiser? Patrick said, you don't have enough hair on your ass. Oh, really? He challenged you, huh? I said, no, I don't, because I spent a lot of money to be hairless. Oh, it was a joke. No, I figured out AD, and I figured out, yeah, so you got to give credit. Credit is due. You know, there's still some people who haven't figured out either one of them. And so I just got to give people credit. And sometimes it takes people longer than other people. Some people can look at Eric and say, he's a fake, day one. There's other people who took all summer to figure out he's fake. And some people will actually, like, they won't figure out until somebody points it out. Like, hey, look, you know, he's doing this Amish thing. Look, here's the proof. So some people have to be, you know, see the evidence. You know what I mean? So everybody's kind of at their own pace. Some people figure out, you know, who people are right away, and sometimes it takes a little bit. And to be fair, sometimes you don't watch somebody every day. You know, somebody that watches them every day might figure out, hey, this guy's a loser. He's a phony. But somebody else might watch them just once in a while. Somebody else might be watching closely. Somebody else might just have it in the background while they're working on something. You know what I mean? So people find out at their own pace. I mean, so yeah, it's not because I told anybody not to go there. And then I didn't stand in the way of that fundraiser. You know what I mean? I think people reported it, but I promise you, I swear, I absolutely I had nothing to do with that. To GoFundMe taking a. I thought it was kind of funny, actually. I was, to be honest, I was watching the total to go up so I could do another video on how much it was. But no, I would have never tried to take it down. But anyway, so Susan was challenged. She took the challenge, the GoFundMe challenge, and got taken down anyway. I like Patrick, but I will not support people who are friends with people who attack me. Yeah, that is true. Susan, you were a loyal friend to Patrick. You actually took a lot of hits for Patrick, and you stood up for your friend. And then your friend Patrick went on some other lady's channel and stuck up for her. And that same lady was trashing you and Patrick for months. Months! And those videos are still up, by the way. That person trashed you. They trashed Patrick, and then Patrick chose to go on that channel and call me a liar. Give me what? Yeah. And tend to give away more passes than most people. I changed my views on Patrick after spending time in this channel. Oh, I don't want to get blamed. Susan, I see Patrick is an idiot. He is. And you know, here's the thing. Patrick has already been outed as a liar. I personally have pointed out the lies that Patrick has told, lie after lie. And I know he's trying to rewrite history, but the fact is you turned on your own neighbors for this guy who comes in from Georgia, and he goes right back to Georgia, leaves you holding the bag. I mean, these are your neighbors. Like I said, hey, you know, if Eric did this to my neighbors, I said this last night. Hey, whether I like my neighbors or not, it wouldn't have happened. Absolutely freaking not. Number one is it'd be like, okay, first of all, let's not piss off my neighbors because they're going to tell us they don't want to do videos anymore, okay? Just for our own, watch out for ourselves. Let's treat them good, pay them well, so we can keep doing this. But if I didn't like my neighbors, I would, and I don't believe Patrick liked the Whitakers at all. Because if he liked the Whitakers and cared about the Whitakers, he would have paid them, and he also would have helped them try to do something to undo the damage. He wouldn't have done all this to the Whitakers if he had liked them. Would you do this to your own mother? No, but you do it to the Whitakers, you know what I mean? So So, you know, I would have said, hey, we got to pay my neighbors, all right? I don't even like them, but we got to pay them because, hey, if they get pissed off, you're going to go back to Georgia, and I'm going to be one holding the bag here, all right? You know, what if they come over and slice my tires on my car? I mean, what if, you know, whatever? They could send their relatives after, beat me up or something, you know, if I didn't like them. But and if I did like them, which Patrick claims he liked them, I'd say, hey, wait a minute. Oh, hell no, dude. You got to pay my neighbors. Those are my friends. You know, these are my neighbors. I gotta live next to these people. You can just go home, but these are my friends. I mean, you're not going to do this to my friends. These are my neighbors. You know what I mean? So no, he if he liked him, he would have stood up and said, "Oh hell no, we got to pay the Whitakers." Instead, he said, "Hey, can I have the Whitakers' money? Because I want to do stuff with it. I want my money and their money." Yeah, yeah. So and then trying to rewrite history, and both of them to this day are playing a victim. Oh, I don't get to see Timmy anymore. Oh, just stop playing the victim, okay? It's so disgusting. Yeah. Yeah, he went over to, so he's been outed as a liar. And what does he do? He goes over to somebody else who is known as a liar. And he goes on her channel to try to bail her out of some lies. It's like, oh goodness, for number one, I would never use Patrick as a character reference, okay? No, I would not do that. And no, I also wouldn't go on somebody who's just been outed for the last 6 months as a liar. Yeah. Yeah, so he is an idiot. And Susan was a legit friend. Right? The other person is just using Patrick as a useful idiot. Sorry, Patrick. You've been used as a useful idiot by Eric and your other buddy there. The one that talked shit on you for months and then asked you to bail her out. Your heart is super gold. In my opinion, I've watched and seen your heart and graciousness. Hold on a second. Yeah, he did. So anyway, Susan, my son who turned 15, well now yesterday the 7th, his father, I believe, was offed by a neighbor. Really. Hard telling how he really acted off camera. Yeah, I agree, Kathy. He used them for videos, a way to make money. He never gave them crap and didn't know what he made off them. Yeah. And then when people are saying, hey, Patrick, you gotta bust them out their share. Pay them what you owe them. I'll pay them when I feel like it, when I damn well feel like it. It's okay, TNT. I had a younger brother who was off in 2007. Patrick reminded me a lot of him. I just overlooked the obvious. Yeah. And that can happen too. I can remove that. No, I don't think you have to remove it. Yeah. So for whatever reason, people might give someone a break. You know what I mean? What video was I going to pull up? Oh, man. I forgot. Anyway, I should probably get off of here. Let me see. What I'm doing here. And Patrick's been very quiet in the last month or so. He did those live streams and started like he was going to do something, and all of a sudden he just disappeared. Yeah. Just like Larry going up and taking the gas can, Patrick probably told Larry he could come up there and get the gas anytime, and then turned it on. Yeah, right? You're right, Jenny, and I wondered that too. Was that a setup? Because you know what? I have a clip of Patrick talking to Larry. And and Patrick's saying, you're not protecting your family. Yeah, BJ's, hurting everybody, and it's on your watch, and you're dropping the ball. You're bad, Larry. You're bad. You're bad. You're not protecting your family. All right. And he had a hidden camera, and Larry didn't even know he was being videotaped. But he was saying how Larry's not protecting the family. And then he said something about taking the gallon of gas. And Larry said, hey, wait a minute. You were in the hospital. If you were home, I would have asked you. But you weren't. There's no way I could get a hold of you. I would have asked you. And Patrick said, I know. If I was home, I know you would have asked. Okay, so where's the stealing part? Not just accuse him of stealing, but then blackmailing him. Oh, you have to, falsely testify against your daughter, falsely accuse her of a bunch of things, throw her off the property with nowhere to live. Yeah, do that to your daughter over a gallon of gas. Hard time, yeah. Yep. New T-shirt idea. I have a clip. Yeah, I have the clip. That's right. Did you name it? And I got a clip of it. Pork chop. Good to see you tonight. Have you seen Patrick's mugshot? He's not the brightest light. Yeah. And for some reason, they make everybody stand against that same wall. And the wall had like a flaw in it, like it got chipped, and then somebody tried to crudely patch the crack or the chip. And now, then they all stand in front of that same wall. And they all have to look up. I think it's like up to the left, whatever they tell them to look up, because BJ's looking up like that. They all have that same exact pose. They're looking up to the left. BJ's got the same mugshot. They're all looking up to the left, standing in front of that wall. And then when Patrick got arrested, they actually put like this plastic tarp up to cover that spot. But you can go back years and people are still in front of that wall with a crack in the wall. Yeah, Grace, can you please throw up Susan's page? Yeah, I seen this mugshot. They all have that same dumb look on their face, like a deer in the headlights. I mean, I get it. Some people smile in their mugshots. I think that's always funny. But I thought Patrick had the look on his face like, this is so dumb. I'll pay him when I want. I gotta look. Yeah. Pork chop, fried taters, and cornbread. Oh man, you're making me hungry. Yeah, I'm getting hungry. Hold on a second. Grace is high to pork chops. I have that video still on my Facebook page. I looked today. The interview with Sonny is still there also. Oh, you did? I didn't check my emails. I think maybe this morning. Yeah, the thumbnail for this video looks like Amish Patrick. It doesn't. I just picked a random picture. Pork chop, shut up. That sounds really good. I don't even eat pork, and I could eat a pork chop right now. I haven't had a pork chop in probably 20 years. But I'm so hungry, I'd probably eat one, especially if it had that cream and mushroom sauce with mashed potatoes. That used to be my favorite. I used to cook that for my kids. They love pork chops. In the sauce, the gravy sauce, or that is good. I could throw that kosher stuff right out the window for that. Yeah, I'll go back to that tomorrow. Gimme. Yeah, so anyway. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to pull up. I like shake and bake pork chop. Yeah, those are good too. Yeah, gross stuff, I know. I'm hungry. That sounds really good. Anything sounds good right now. I can't remember what I had. I think earlier today I had some a cheese omelet with some toast and milk. I think that's the last thing I ate probably 12 hours ago. So yeah, I'm getting kind of hungry right now. Anyway, so Yeah, I'll probably get off here because it's 3 minutes and 19 minutes. 3 hours and 19 seconds. I mean, wait, 3 hours and 19 minutes. They have it hours, minutes, and seconds, so it threw me off there for a second, but yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I'll probably wrap it up. I remember I told you I was so tired I was just gonna come on for like an hour. And then I got a second wind. Yeah. So yeah, anything else? So that's a wrap it up. What do we got here? Why Robert Mass was needed. Oh yeah, we will. We'll watch one more clip and I'll probably wrap it up. We'll watch one more clip. And this is from Dwayne Ward. Oh wait, we did. Never mind. Dwayne, stop. That we did see that. That's the clip where he said, "F you. I didn't make no money. F you." Yeah, but who's counting? All right. Caleb, stop. You know, I have to always tell him to stop doing stuff.
I spent a lot of time talking about it. Yeah.
Oh, stop. Eric, shut up. All right, because you see, Caleb is somebody to me who can do no wrong. Even though he does stuff that annoys me all the time, I just never have the heart to like correct him and stuff. So he's like the kid in the family that never gets punished for anything. He pretty much gets to do what he wants. And when I tell him that they have to come in from outside, 2 of them come in right away. Then I have to sit and beg Caleb to come in, please. And then bait him in with treats. Yeah, the motorboat. All right, good night, Tina. Yeah, but who's counting? Nazarene says, we need to keep talking about the Whitaker family so people won't forget that Eric and Patrick did to what they did to the family. I agree, Nazarene. Because I have a whole lot more I can say. You know I can. Me either to my son. Yeah, right. It's just like, man, he can do what I want. I ask him a lot of times not to do stuff. See, I'll tell the other dogs, they'll do exactly what I say. Caleb, he looks at me like, no, I don't feel like it. I'm like, please. So he's kind of the spoiled one. And to me, Caleb will always be a baby. He'll always be a little baby puppy. So yeah, he's that one kid that gets to do whatever he wants. All right. So anyway, yeah, so I'll wrap it up and say good night to everybody. Kathy, give me that Dwayne laugh motorboat. All right, I'll do that as I go out. Good night, everyone. I'm going to go slice up a cantaloupe. Cantaloupe sounds really good. We will do one more video on the way out. We'll see if I have it under motorboat. Do we have motorboat? Do we have the motorboat clip handy? Yep, here we go. On the way out, we're going to watch Dwayne motorboat Patrick. Boobies! That's what he says. Boobies! And this is coming from a guy who's got his own room full of toys. I mean, all right, one more for the road. Let's see here. Where are we at? All right, Dwayne. Don't disappoint us.
He came out a few days ago, saying September 23rd, 2025, and he's been saying for a while that he only has his personal account. That's the only one he has.
Yeah, what's right and what's wrong?
Look at the size of those moves.
That is right.
Boobies!
I only own one platform.
Boobies!
Facebook. That's it. I don't have none other
Do it again, Dwayne.
platform.
You know you want to. He did it twice. Boobies.
He came out a few days ago, today, September 23rd, 2025, and he's been saying for a while that he only has his personal account. That's the only one he has.
What's right and what's wrong?
Look at the size of those boobs.
That is right. I only,
Patrick.
I only, want, I only, want,
Boobies. All right. Iconic. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for coming. Hey, Jane, dear Jane, thank you for coming. Again, you can always call me, see how you're doing and stuff. Yeah, everybody, thank you for coming tonight. Anyway, it was fun, as always. I hope to talk to you soon. And yeah, I will be hopefully putting out more videos besides the live streams. I'll never not laugh at that, right? Boobies! All right, good night, everybody. Remember, if you see boobies, motorboat them and say,